Ultimate stuff. Supercross. Hey. Nipple. Machete. Fashion. A scintillating bloodbath of hellacious fury. Evil. Cannabis. Interesting things. Awesome. Radio. Tigers, elephants, orangutans, lions, and bears. They'll make you stare. Dragons, salamanders, fish in the sea. Know what I mean? Jason Ellis. Fuck you. Michael Tully. I'm not very sexy. Andrew Grooves. Absolutely. Kevin Kraft. Don't worry, we got them. The bases covered. And Will Pendarvis. Fuck yeah, I'm Will Pendarvis. Live from Hollywood. Also blown up. This is the Jason Ellis Show.
One five. It's all the numbers you need. Welcome to the show. It's great to be here. Just thinking to myself, you know. I mean, I do a lot of that. About finishing my tattoo suit, and I got a hole in my mouth where I got to put a gold tooth in there, and then I should be alright, but it's just what I want to do, you know. And then I was thinking, people need to do what they want to do. And then I was thinking, people don't do what they want to do. They do a lot of, like, following stuff. I've done that too. I feel like people will impress me, and then I'll follow them for a year and be like, it's not exactly my road. When I think I've just done that a lot until I realize, you know, and then maybe in the end you don't go down anyone's road anymore. Maybe some people are more advanced and they've been doing that their whole time. But I feel like I'm pretty original, and I still follow people. So I feel like maybe people should watch out for that. Because you never know, you might end up being you. Ever. People die. Early, too. So, you know what I mean? Get on that. I mean, some people live super old, but you don't want to just not be you one time. Or you might like it, fuck it.
It's weird. I feel like I'm getting to an age where people who are, like, I don't feel that much younger than people who die who are not insanely young to die. To die? The guy who wrote Borderline by Madonna, among other hits, and produced her first album, passed away recently at the age of 65. And like, didn't get hit by a bus. You know, he just died. He just got sick. And I was like, 65, shit. That's 25 years.
What about that race car driver, that movie with, what's his name? The dude, Mark Hunt? No. Who's the guy that died, the race car driver that won the race, but the movie was about the other dude that got burnt?
That was the Ron Howard movie, right?
Yeah, but what's that dude's, the real dude, the guy that ended up dying, he only won it one time. Yeah. Yeah, but not Chris Hemsworth. The real. Yeah, James Hunt, that's what it was. And James Hunt, you know, I guess as far, you know, Hollywood obviously made it out like he was a hell of a race car driver and a party animal, and I don't know how much of a party animal he turned into, but it seemed like it was more of a drinking, smoking cigarette guy. But obviously, you know, that's Hollywood. Maybe he got into it worse, but I believe he died when he was 47.
Yeah, it can happen. That's why. What are you gonna do, man? You got to rock and roll all night and party every day.
I just think
whatever.
That's sad because unless he had, you know, I guess in the 80s when you get any kind of cancer, you're fucked, right?
Yeah. But still, I mean, just whatever. Whatever your version of rock and roll all night and party every day is, to the extent that your circumstances allow, man, do it. You know. Mm-hmm. That's why I went to New York for a few days when we were on vacation. It was a very un-me thing to do, and I found myself trying to find reasons not to do it. I was like, I probably shouldn't do that. That's probably not a responsible thing to do. And then I couldn't come up with a single reason not to go.
Wow.
And then when I did it, I was like, why was I making it so hard for me to do this? It's fun.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's super cool, you know? So, I'm doing crazy things.
Are you?
Well, for me, I don't think that I'm very mild, but
okay,
you know, I'm having that extra donut. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, I feel you. Fuck it.
You never know when it's going to be your last donut.
I know, right? I mean, that volcano won't stop. You never know. My heart jumps all the time.
It's now heading towards a power plant.
Thank you, Andrew. So when it hits that, what happens then? Nuclear explosion?
I think there's some concern over what will happen if that were to take place.
I'm pretty sure it will create an AC/DC album cover if the lava makes it to the power plant.
Didn't most of them die and retire kind of thing?
Yeah, well, they'll have to get the band back together.
Isn't it more of an unfortunate, like, Tech 9 album cover or something now because the world is over and, you know what I mean, there's like a bunch of midgets that own the music industry.
Oh, there's so many bands.
Yep.
Nobody owns the music industry. AC/DC.
TMZ owns the music industry.
That's not true. AC/DC can still sell out stadiums all I world.
Didn't they seriously retire?
Well, yeah, but like,
okay.
if
seriously,
if they could,
it's over, right?
I don't know if that's been. I do not know that has been. Thank you for the live feed.
What? Yeah.
Well, because
we're back to the bubbling lava. I feel like I'm deja vu.
Yeah.
I saw this yesterday. Sorry,
this is
Hawaii,
still live.
Yeah, it's still bubbling. I'm aware of it. No, it's been bubbling for a while now. Yeah, no, I know.
I don't know if AC/DC officially announced it because they ought to. They're not playing with Brian Johnson and Angus. You know, is it's practically speaking. I'm sorry, Malcolm. You know, Angus wants to go out there, and I guess if Axl Rose is available, and I wouldn't be surprised if they were doing shows right now if the GNR reunion thing wasn't going so well. But I do not recall them saying that those final shows with Axl Rose were the final shows. But the fact remains,
I thought when Malcolm died, that was it.
Was it?
I mean, Malcolm's the heart and soul of AC/DC.
Should it have been?
Did they play again?
The Axl shows were after he died, weren't they?
Were they?
I think so.
So AC/DC played with... Who played rhythm guitar?
I don't know the answer to that.
I mean, that's... are we sure that it happened?
No. I'm not
Andrew,
sure
can you get off Hawaii and get into AC/DC, please? I just figured out how to make that Spotify thing work. And I got this thing on the plane in wherever the fuck I was. You know, it's a case that's got a charger in it, Michael. Mm-hmm. And then I realised it's got a fucking speaker in the bottom. And it charges your phone, and it's a phone case. Made of rubber.
That's terrific.
Yeah, well, it's the small things in life, you know.
Following the band's final show with who's that? With Cliff Williams, who retired from the band in 2016. Axl joined the band full time. He and Angus would continue the band with different musicians. Angry Anderson said in a 2018 interview that Angus Young intends to make a new album with Axl Rose.
Wait, Angus... Oh, you said Angry Anderson.
Yes, I did. Angry Anderson said that Angus Young intends to make an album. Speaking as Angus's friend.
Oh.
Angry Anderson said.
Oh, with Axl.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, well... But that's not AC/DC.
Well, but you
and
know,
it's over. That's it.
Yeah, but my point remains: there's tons and tons of bands who can go and play stadiums regardless of whether Tekashi 6ix9ine is number
No,
one.
I was just bringing up what the fancy pants world talks about. You know.
Yeah.
I don't think, you know, it's like the people that like that guy are wearing AC/DC t-shirts because it's at that department store.
Mm-hmm.
But I wonder if kids... I mean, some kids know who it is.
Dude, no doubt about it. There's never been a time I can't imagine where there are so many fucking bands out on the road. I feel like bands that weren't even very successful to begin with do reunion shows and at least are able to get like good spots at festivals.
It's crazy.
There's a whole there's a whole bunch of emo bands that are doing reunions now that I thought never really... Like, Dashboard Confessional is, like, as big now as he's ever been. And did you even know who Dashboard Confessional is?
No.
He was a guy who was... I mean, really, like, every song was about him crying and everybody in the crowd singing along because they cried.
Wait, he had a song about him crying?
I think he only had songs about him crying.
Somebody should stab him.
I say this having never bothered to listen to. I think, is Screaming Infidelities his big...
Oh, yeah. God, that's their big hit. You know them, Andrew?
They were super emo-y, like, I'm so sad,
mm-hmm.
blah, blah, blah. And he, like, I don't know what to compare him to, but...
And he was
very unique.
He has a song saying I'm so sad?
I'm under the impression that's the only songs he had, and he was very, very, very good looking, and I think the entire music industry was like, this guy's gonna be fucking massive, and it never really... I mean, yes, he was successful, but you don't know who he is. He never had mainstream hits, and now he's fucking back. Big.
Okay, turn it off. Stop that. I mean, my headache.
I don't think there's ever been a time that more...
Shit made my face red.
So many bands are making a living off of being in bands now.
Yeah.
A preposterous number of people. Well,
good.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. It's not like it used to be. It used to be
fun.
There's only so many seats at the table, and if Tekashi 6ix9ine gets big, that means somebody else is out. And it's just not like that anymore.
That's great then.
Yeah.
So, does that mean that everybody goes out and watches bands more now than ever?
I feel like I haven't actually seen anybody write that article, but I wonder about that, because they say, well, all these bands stop making money off of their records, so because, people listen on Spotify, nobody makes any money off of Spotify, except for the 5 or 10 really biggest acts, so they have to go out on tour. Well, yeah, but there's only so many dollars people are going to spend on going to concerts. It's really expensive, if you're going to get a beer and a t-shirt. But apparently, no. I think that's one of the more underreported things, is live music must be more popular than it's ever been, too.
I mean, is there any stats on that, or is it just... Because it feels like that.
Mm-hmm.
Feels like they just make a new tour. They used to be like 1 or 2 a year. Now it's... Every genre has fucking 5.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I see how that works, because that's, people that go to that have money.
Yeah.
That's like, there's like a lot of hybrid cars in the parking lot. That's, you can pay real gnarly money for the seats in the front.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys with $150 haircuts at that.
Yeah. Okay, that figures.
Yeah.
By the time I went bald, I was still broke.
Yeah, I
didn't even hear that shit, but it makes sense.
I was snaking through some neighborhoods. I went to some places I don't usually go around Hollywood today, and just snaking through some neighborhoods and seeing some guys, gray-haired guys, well-dressed, walking their dogs, and it's like, man, how much does your house cost? Because just look at your haircut, man.
Yeah, I never even. Yeah,
it's a lot of money.
I adjusted my mustache this morning, and I fucking fucked it up, and had to. I can't do it. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I shaved my face like I draw.
Yeah.
I gave up on drawing. I don't know, because I got a keen eye, so I see critical mistakes, and I was like, oh, fuck! But you think a keen eye, critical mistakes, you'd have a fucking touchy wrist. Duh!
No, I know.
I'm just fucking... All I'm good is just throw me at the fucking thing. That's it. I'm just a head.
I've never been able to take on complicated looks for that very reason. I can't do the maintenance myself. You could give me an awesome mustache and it'll be fucking blown within a week and a half.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Like, and then you got to go see your fucking mustache, bruh. Like, come on, man. I'm fucking 46. I'm not going to a fucking private... I mean, I should go. But I've never... You know what? I would go if I went to a place where I was like, ping... Yeah, okay, that's the thing that I want for the rest of my life. Or, yeah, I love it. But it's usually I go home and I look in the mirror and I'm like, well, I fucking missed a bit right there. Like, I can do that. And then my fucking head is all crooked and shit, Michael, because I broke my jaw and my nose. So nothing's even. And I think maybe because my mum drank when she was pregnant, I'm like disfigured and shit.
Is that your theory? You have late onset fetal alcohol syndrome?
I think I just didn't notice how crooked my head and everything, because now I'm older and shit, and I got weird, my nose is all bent and shit from stuff that happened. I got that weird scar that came up. I called my mum about it like this year to say, okay, I'm giving you a full hall pass right here. The scar on my nose, where I fell down the staircase and then I hit the bottom of the staircase and it knocked the clock off the wall. And the clock landed on its face on my face. She's like, why would you say that? Got angry at me. What are you saying I did? And I'm like, whoa. I'm not saying you did anything. I'm just saying it's super hard to believe. And I was, maybe somebody bumped me or something. And it's just a crazy story. I left out a bit. There was another bit where apparently a part of some metal thing stabbed into the ground near my head. Like, my mum's exaggerates like I do, so I don't know. But she swears that the clock fell on my face. But it seems like the older I get, or maybe it's more people that punch me, it's coming out more. I can see it more. I don't know.
I think a lot of people... Man, I told you, I never paid attention to people's skulls until somebody told us that we should put my son in a helmet to fix his cranium.
Yeah, you know what? I thought of that when I discovered how deformed my head is.
Well, that's the thing.
Somebody should have put me in a helmet.
No. They shouldn't have. They,
Fucking lopsided.
But everybody is. That's it. When they showed me my kid and what was wrong with him and how they could fix it, I was like, wow, yeah, his head is pretty jacked. And then I started looking around at people, and there's just jacked heads. It's unusual. It's just as rare that anybody has, perfect shoulders or a perfect butt or perfect feet. To have a perfect head is actually pretty unusual. Most people's heads are pretty weird, and I think as you get older, it does get kind of exacerbated. I'm thinking of Phil Collins, he's on tour, and I follow him on Twitter for some godforsaken reason. Like, just really examine that dome. That's not ideal. And I just don't know that you...
Why is it not ideal?
What kind of a tiny little peak in
Pointy at the back.
He just looks like he's made out of mashed potatoes.
I mean, doesn't everybody get mashed potato-y when they're... What's he, 70?
He's up there. He's pretty beat up.
70's mashed potato-ville, bruh. This is the world now. You're hanging in, and then you just go, mashed potatoes.
Right. Well, you're halfway from your prime to mashed potato land, and it wouldn't
shout out to that.
And it wouldn't be surprising.
Good news.
That you're starting to see, you're starting to look a little spuddy. As all of us are.
I was thinking about that today too. About I somehow added up. Like the hideousness of my chewed up mashed potato life, and like young girls, like a girl that's young and and I'm like, it's pretty. If she's really young and super hot, I'm almost offended by myself existing. So, and then later on that day, I was like, well, that's a really harsh thing to think about, because yeah, dude. You're not going to be fucking any 21-year-old supermodels or any models ever again. Or maybe, whatever. I don't want to... Any models, anybody that's young ever again, and maybe even hot chicks altogether ever again. So what? Like, this is 40s, and now there's like a new... What are the things that you can do that are great when you're 40 that you couldn't do when you could potentially have sex with somebody super cute who was 21?
Yeah.
I mean, besides, I was trying to think of one thing in particular. I mean, I was like, I could just like have an argument with a police officer.
Yeah, you're not quite in that phase yet. You're still more.
But I don't really feel like arguing with one.
Well, Will and I were having a conversation.
That'll do. He's like a police officer. About
this very subject the other day. Like, what do you do? I believe, Will, I don't want to speak for you, but, your kids don't need as much hands-on supervision as they used to. You start getting your life back. And then you start asking yourself, well, fuck, now that I've actually got time for the first time in 20 years, like, what the fuck do I want to do?
Yeah, it's really, really terrible and great all at the same time.
Absolutely.
You want to come in, Will? Okay.
And I've talked to other guys who are in that same situation, where their kids get college age or whatever. And then I think I will probably finally really maintain a haircut every 2 weeks and maybe some facial hair when my kids go away. I'm not saying that's going to be the highlight of my life, but that is a luxury I will potentially be able to afford myself.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of routine-y, but...
I like routine.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a small piece of the puzzle.
Right on. Well, I mean, I would like... It's got to be a sweet guy, though. Or a girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gotta enjoy going there.
I think I have an advantage that maybe... Like, I really like making music, and I really like playing music, and I think I have an advantage over... You were an elite skateboarder, so you get... frustrated if you can't do exactly what you were able to do at your peak. I'm not sure I was ever all that great at music to begin with. So, I'm writing a lot of music.
That's me with MMA.
I'm writing a lot of music right now, And I'm very happy with it. In my opinion, it's just as good as anything else I've ever done. And when you're 40, you're not supposed to be as good at writing songs as you were when you were 19, 22 years old. But I think when you weren't all that great to begin with, it's not that hard to maintain that peak. So I have. No,
I'm yet to be the greatest surfer I've ever been.
Right. So I actually think that there's a snowball's chance that when I'm 55, I might still be capable of making music that I'm like, yeah, no, that's good. I like that. I'm not just doing this so I don't off myself.
Yeah, wow, that's a positive outlook. You definitely don't want to just do it so you don't off yourself.
I think sometimes people get depressed about running out of shit to do at the end of their life, and then they kind of tell themselves that they're more into the stuff that they're doing because they don't want to face the fact that they're really not that interested in anything. I think there's a chance I'll still be really interested in doing that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like some people weren't really interested in anything to begin with, so that makes it easier.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I think you can do a whole life where you weren't that particularly invested in anything.
Maybe. I always thought I would get more education, like specific kinds of education, but I don't feel like I retain information like I used to, and I don't know that there will be much point in me learning a bunch of things that I'm going to instantly forget. Like, I always thought, I don't get at all Shakespeare, but anybody with a brain will tell you that he's the greatest, like, writer ever. It's just like everybody is kind of, I don't want to say taking their shit from Shakespeare, but like the fucking greatest books of all time start with like 2 sentences from Shakespeare on the first page to be like, that's kind of what set the tone for what I did. Because wow, look at how fucking smart look at what he said in 2 sentences. And I've been in a couple classes in high school and college where there's a book I read and I was like, I don't get it. And then a guy who's done or a lady who've done a ton of research in that field walk you fucking through it page by page and help you figure it out. And you go, oh my God, this is incredibly fucking genius. Thank you for showing me how genius this is, because I really didn't get it. And I always thought it'd be cool to maybe get to a certain age where somebody could make me understand Shakespeare, where I would understand how great it really is.
You think you would forget it before you got to the point of knowing how cool he is?
In one ear, not the other. I'm hoping that I'm just a little fried from the balancing act that is my middle-aged life, that maybe I'll get some bandwidth back when I get a little bit older, and that I won't just be an imbecile.
Yeah, you never know. They might have, some weird supplements and shit, and you'll get a little bit of that back.
Maybe.
Maybe me and Andrew will have luscious locks when we're in our 70s.
I believe
that will make no fucking sense on our potato faces, but still, flowing in the wind, bruh.
If I could place a bet on the future of that, I would bet that you will.
Yeah, me too.
Don't you think within 10 years you should be able to have, like, luscious locks?
Son of a bitch, Andrew! I'm gonna be hideous by then! Framing a dog shit! You heard of that? That's what that's gonna be!
You look like David Johansen.
Wait, who's that? I don't want to die. Don't do it. I'm gonna be in the whack pack. Who's David Johansen?
The singer of the New York Dolls, Buster Poindexter. How did you get those photos?
Who are you? Oh, he's sweet. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, well then it's not too late. Because being dusted with locks is sweet. Yeah, fuck yeah,
just
man.
A total fucking dog face.
Change my mind. It's never too late to have sweet locks.
No.
Because that, god damn, he looks like Mick Jagger's dad. Like if
he's like the devolution of, like, take a handsome man with hair and then go down to Steven Tyler and then go down to Mick Jagger and then find your way all the way down.
He kind of looks cool with his weird beard thing he's got going.
The only reason why I feel comfortable calling him an ugly man on air is because he's always been ugly and it's never stopped him. He's the fucking coolest dude ever.
Yeah.
He is so fucking rad.
Good for him.
Yeah.
What music has he got?
I don't think the music is very good. So many of my favorite bands talk about them as being the absolute shit. So many metal bands would tell you Kiss and New York Dolls.
Yeah.
Just those 2 bands. And New York Dolls are definitely responsible for, like, Look at Us, We're Ugly Women.
Yeah.
So I definitely see where that was inspirational to the hair metal scene. I don't feel like the music holds up. But I don't know. Like, I was Morrissey is a massive fan. He engineered a reunion of the New York Dolls. He was like literally the president of the New York Dolls fan club. We went to a concert and they were playing a bunch of Dolls songs before Morrissey came out. My wife was like, "Who is this? This is cool. I like this." So it can still appeal to people. It just doesn't really appeal to me. It's just more of that fucking 70s bar rock blues.
I think I kind of know already what it is just by you saying
looking
that.
for a kiss.
Right.
Yeah, that's that.
Yeah. which
and then
which is cool. It's
cool.
weird because it's
way
like
cool.
you're there and you're like, yeah, man,
Uh-huh.
I get that, but it's like, holy,
This was the best.
this is the most basic shit ever. But he owns it, and he did it first, so
Yeah.
it's over.
And it looked cool. If you see the live performances,
he's a
it's
badass.
fucking unbelievable.
Yeah.
And then he's Buster Poindexter, and that's awesome too, in its own way.
Who's Buster Points?
Feeling hot, hot, hot.
I don't know that.
Really?
Oh.
Feeling hot, hot, hot.
Really?
Yeah, he just made up this whole other character and acted like a completely different person. I mean, he acted vaguely Latino. Is that what Buster Poindexter was?
That's what I always thought it was.
Yeah.
He's a mastermind.
Yeah.
He did what Garth Brooks did, but he successfully did it.
Absolutely. It helped that nobody knew who the fuck he was in the
good
mainstream
point.
to begin with.
Right.
Yeah. And he's the taxi driver in Scrooge.
I totally remember
Yeah.
that. And he looked old as shit in that. Weird.
No, he's great, dude. And I've had the pleasure of being around him a little bit around SiriusXM, and he's just a fucking rock and roll joy to behold.
Makes sense.
Him and Fred Schneider from the B-52s. You just see, like, those guys, like, you just kind of... Something was going to happen to these guys. You know? There was no way that they weren't going to be somewhat known, because they're just a party in a box.
Yeah. This is a timeless riff. Isn't this like a cartoon song as well? Like, I feel like this is like in like...
Little DuckTales-y sound to it.
Nah, there's something before DuckTales. Like, this is... That's that fucking bird movie. I swear to God, this... Did he get paid every time they would play this song in a movie and stuff?
Yeah.
He would, right?
There's
I feel like
probably a lot
I
of
feel like
shit
this
in
is
the
seriously... This is played in a lot of cartoon movies. Like, as a guy that's got a couple of kids, I feel like I've heard this song in, like, the chickens that caught waves.
No.
Dude, my kids have put me through fucking brutal movies. Yeah, the penguin that surfs.
Surf's Up.
Yeah.
I can see it being in
it's
there,
in
yeah.
there. I think it's in.
I saw that in the theater.
What's the blue bird that goes to Brazil and his pet? The owner tries to find.
Rio?
Yeah. Fucking, it's in Rio. It's I swear, it's up there with that thing that. What's that band that you always do for movie intros?
Oh, I feel good.
No, yeah. But what's the next? Those other guys.
Wait, there's another one I do.
Yeah, the other band that you do in the next bit.
Wait, but on October 20th, what if you had a universal remote that controls your universe?
Yeah.
Adam Sandler is having a bad day, but on October 26th, ow, I feel good.
Yeah.
There's another one?
Yeah, you go into another one. Then you go, but then he's got a girlfriend, and he goes, well, maybe you're the guy that does the other.
Maybe.
But which voice is it?
You do the movie one, then you go into the song. It's not about the voice, it's about the fucking song that it goes into. When a girl meets a guy. Yeah, and then you go, what song do you do? Yeah, he did that, and then, because he guys do other ones. Yeah, and then there's another, yeah. Oh, so close. Yes, that's it! Those guys! Yes! Okay. Were those Smash Mouth, right? No. Who was that?
Yeah, Smash Mouth.
Okay, that's it. Thank you, Will. I knew he was going to get it. That's the one he goes to.
Has anybody made like a random movie preview generator app? Because it really is that simple. You just put in the copy, put in a date, and put in one of those 3 songs, and it's half the previews you've ever seen in your entire life.
Hang on. Just maybe. Sorry, guys. Hang on.
Oh, is this going to be...
Hello?
All right, I have no idea what's going on.
God.
Andrew, what's going on out there?
Sorry.
We're just kind of chilling. Living our best life.
I'm glad to hear that.
Sorry, I thought maybe it was the school. I gotta,
Oh, goodness.
Super Dad's gotta come to the rescue, but I think I'm okay.
Tekashi 6ix9ine booked for assaulting a police officer. Assault's a broad word. Booked for...
He pushed a cop or
He
something?
squeezed his hand.
Why did he squeeze his hand? Wait,
Because
when he shook his hand, he squeezed it?
No, he was already in the police station by the time that he
Is that
allegedly squeezed.
Wait,
the
can you
cop's
really... I mean, throw the book at him, but...
swelling? It caused swelling.
No, officer, don't say that. I mean, he's 3 feet tall. He did not... injure anything.
Approached by an officer while his SUV was illegally parked in front of a fire hydrant. When asked to produce a license, the cop found it was suspended, taken to a Brooklyn precinct to be given a ticket. Police there learned to get an open warrant for his arrest in Texas. That's when they cuffed him and tried to take him into custody, and that's when the alleged hand squeezing went down.
No, it's usually when he grabs a guy's hand, he squeezes it so hard that everybody lets go of him and he walks free. He's got a grip.
Maybe.
Didn't work today. Yesterday. Wherever it was.
Yep.
That just gives him credit, though, doesn't it?
I think so. I don't think he cares.
He's not afraid of the popo. I mean, can't we just beat his ass? I mean, New York Police Department, can't you just beat his ass? Everybody wants you to do it. We don't like you for it. Who's going to hate you for doing that? The kids don't really like him anyway. If you beat his ass, the police, the children that love Tech fucking turd don't care enough to get you back. And the only people that's going to try and get you back is Tech fruits. Come on, you run those guys. Don't tell me you're scared of them.
I just realized something, right? Lee Raven said that, I don't know if it was him or the other one, I don't care, they're all the same. They're all the same Crayola kid to me. That she was attracted to him the first time she saw his photo. Are there guys listening right now who have like 12 to 15-year-old daughters who have crushes on him? Because I'd have a problem with that.
I mean, I don't know, but there's got to be. Of course there is.
There have to be, right?
Yeah.
That would be devastating to me.
That's why you've got to, you know what I mean? Come on, police department. Beat his ass.
Because
knee him in the face.
Yeah, I'm going to have a daughter. I saw her skull on ultrasound this morning.
Shout out to her skull.
Looks great. Perfect. See, I don't think we're going to need
need a helmet?
I don't think we're going to need to helmet that one. But, yeah, if she wants to listen to dumb shit, that's fine. But if she's just like, you know, writing fan fiction about meeting Tekashi 6ix9ine backstage, and
I don't think that's happening.
And they fall in
There's
love.
a couple of fans out there, but I don't think anyone's writing
fan fiction.
Fan about Tekashi. No way. He's too brutal.
I guarantee you that there are girls who write in their diary about how great life would be if Tekashi 6ix9ine would just fall in love with them.
He's a child molester, allegedly. No, convicted.
Well, but these women are children, so I'm not saying, you know, like, he's not supposed to act on that. Like Backstreet Boys, like
they didn't do. They're not.
No, I'm not saying that they are, but like 14-year-old girls cannot legally give consent, so Backstreet Boys were never allowed to go with their fans.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just saying all their fans would be into it.
Okay, yeah.
That's why
but that wasn't bad.
No, that's why they're successful, is because they make 14-year-old girls fall in love with them.
Right. Oh, I see what you're saying. Jason, welcome to the show.
Yeah, brother, I love you to death, but
yeah, but
you were just bitching about cops needing more training.
Yeah.
And now you're on the air saying we just need to let them beat this dude's ass.
Yes. No, I can choose. No, how is it one way or another?
I disagree with you, sir.
I can. You make it out like I've just spent my whole career shitting on cops. It was one fucking conversation, asshole. I support the cops 100%, but they need more training, and they should beat Tekashi's ass.
So you want them to beat people up?
No, I want them to beat Tekashi up. And they need more training, yeah. Yeah, they need to what?
So do they need more training?
Yes.
Properly in your eyes?
I mean, yeah, actually, yeah. They need more training to beat them up properly, yep.
I love you to death.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Certain people just need a beatdown.
Yeah.
I'm not particular about who delivers it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, like, everybody at McDonald's in New York could beat him up. I'd be okay with everybody that works at McDonald's kicking his ass, too, yeah.
Here's another thing, though. We were talking earlier.
And they don't need more training. They do a great job at McDonald's.
Terrific. Fries are perfect every single
Right,
time.
they say...
You don't really get a bad fry.
I don't know. You ever had a bag of burnt fries at McDonald's?
It's
nope.
unusual. You'd be more apt to get them a little undercooked than overcooked.
Even though you've never had that.
I think they can eyeball that. I have at other... Burger King, definitely.
Yeah, but not at McDonald's.
KFC is a little funny.
Tight chip.
No, absolutely.
Might get a bit of spit in your burger, but that's all right.
Well, what I was gonna say is it's always comforting to me to know that the Tekashi 6ix9ines of the world will get their comeuppance because they're on top of the world right now and they think it'll last forever. And in reality, they're just going to be these has-beens for far longer than they were ever wers.
Yeah.
But I just got finished saying 15 minutes ago that there's so many goddamn seats at the table. There have been plenty of pop stars who come along that I thought Rihanna would be Umbrella and gone. So
that's not true.
no, I was a little off on that.
Yeah.
So maybe these guys won't, because it doesn't. It just seems like
Maybe he would go. Maybe he could disappear and come back in 10 years, Michael, and do another tour, like because midget guys with tattoo faces is hot again.
They'll be retro.
That'd be funny to see him when he's like 50 doing that.
All it depends on, I think the only thing that can really shut these guys down, I don't know, I guess there are still some has-beens, just not nearly as, again, there used to only be so many seats at the table, so Vanilla Ice had to go for somebody else, for fucking CNC Music Factory to get big, you know?
Okay.
And it's not really like that. The only thing that can really fuck these guys up is like the one viral moment that kills them. And you never know what that's going to be, because you can already say, well, what about that thing at LAX? Shouldn't that be, a credibility damaging thing? It doesn't always work. Sometimes it's got to be the right thing at the right time that hits people the right way, that all of a sudden...
What could he do? I mean, what can he do?
I was reading an article today. No, I don't agree with this. I was reading an article today saying that Mike Myers never really bounced back from standing next to Kanye West when Kanye West said George Bush doesn't care about black people.
What do you mean? What happened to him? What did he do?
That he was...
He didn't do it?
No, I know, but so I said I don't agree with the premise of the article. I think he just kind of stopped doing shit, and I think he also kind of stopped being funnier. And I'm a huge Mike Myers fan, but the last thing he did was Love Guru. It was fucking terrible. That was 2008.
Yeah, but don't you think that's kind of like when you get asked to keep stretching, give us more, and you're like, okay, I'll give you Love Guru, but obviously that's like my fourth guy, and I would have picked him if I knew he was a good guy.
Right.
Like he was the last guy because he knew that was the shittiest gimmick he had.
Right. Yeah, much like Sacha Baron Cohen.
Right.
Went down through the list.
Yeah, you do
until he got to Bruno.
Right.
Okay, we're done here.
Yeah, cool. I mean, dude, he had those at the start. Those are the three he had.
Yeah.
And he did all three of them. And there you go. Ta-da.
Right. Okay, so I don't agree with that premise, but it doesn't have to be like you do the dumbest thing ever. It's just if the internet gets those 2 seconds of you that make you look ridiculous, I just think...
I know, but he's so ridiculous. That's what I'm saying. Like the world has become, not everybody, as you already said, but there's a segment of the population that have videos of saying the dumbest shit ever. So how can you have a video like let's say it's a video, maybe because the hip hop, maybe a video of him getting butt fucked?
Yeah.
Like, would that? But I don't know. Like, honestly, would that end his career?
If there was a sex tape and he just said some incredibly ludicrous shit during sex,
that would not stop him. Like what?
I don't know. I'm just saying that it's a very...
I just feel like he's so stupid.
His type of fame is so incredibly fickle that I think little girls...
But it's based on... I see it's based on stupidity. I mean, maybe if they found out that he had a college education, but I think he does have one. I think there was that thing where he's not from the streets or some bullshit. I don't think any... He's just based on stupid at this point. So I
would have said the same thing about Fred Durst. That was
Fred Durst didn't do anything stupid. It just faded. Everybody moved on to another thing. That's what's going to happen to these guys when the trap music thing dies.
Yeah.
Then those dudes won't exist anymore. But you never know, because I don't listen to that much music, but it seems to me that department of music, because TMZ covers it all. I unfollowed them today. I couldn't do it because they keep pumping that little girl as a rapper, and she's just some dude's daughter wearing his shit. It's like, you don't own a Ferrari, you're fucking 8. Like, how's that like, what are we doing here? And then that weird Catch Me Outside chick is on the Billboard chart arguing with the trap music people. The trap music people hate her or love her or whatever it is. They're all on the same thing. It's kind of like me and Tony Hawk. Catch Me Outside and Tekashi they rival each other, which tells me this music that they're spitting out. I mean, we're talking about Puck. put out an album, and now he's on the, like, this is the level of, she is a little girl with no interest in music. And now she's on the Billboard charts talking to this other dude who's a platinum artist who makes millions of dollars and gets millions of sponsorship money as well.
Yeah, he's doing well.
And then TMZ keep bringing it out. Like, there's no... And as you said, there's all these other music genres, all these other people making great music, and TMZ just want to tell you that there's an 8-year-old that is the biggest rapper out there.
But what demographic is paying attention to TMZ?
It's not everybody? Because aren't they like the news now, man?
I think that there are very many people who are listening to this right now who pay very little attention to TMZ. Like, shit's gonna come across your Facebook feed and
they're like Fox and CNN now. They're like a giant thing.
No, they're huge, but I don't think that they're the be all and end all.
Yeah, okay. Still a bunch of clowns on there all day.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Chris Brown is still getting their music promoted. Yeah. I mean, we don't need to go into that. I know. Yes, I don't really... Do they talk about... Yeah, they talk about him still. Yeah, the TMZ got covered. They cover the Chris Brown all the time as well. I forgot about that.
Sure.
But he is... once again, I'm not paying attention to who's making money out there, but I'm assuming he's fading in popularity.
Chris Brown?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Okay. All right.
Based on absolutely nothing, I don't think so. I think he's huge.
Oh, well then...
Well, Andrew said that he never made it to the crossover heights that you would have expected him to, and that may or may not have anything to do with the Rihanna thing, but he's still
headlining tours and things like that, but
right.
he hasn't made the transition to acting, which a lot of people do. Like,
Wait, he tried to?
Yeah, he's tried to. He's been in, like, the Barbershop sequels, but he's never been bigger than just those type of sequels.
Yeah, he kind of... I don't know, he's got too much of a Stackhouse face.
They've also been paying a fair amount of attention to R. Kelly, with the ongoing storyline that they love storylines.
Yeah.
As the news does. Now there's a woman suing R. Kelly claiming that he raped her and gave her herpes.
A lot of people say that these days, though. What happened to Usher? He didn't bang a big fat lady and give her a herpy and a man a herpy?
What ended up...
That was all... Somebody just said that, and then they just walk away after saying that?
The lawsuit was dismissed.
So they just made that up.
And then there were the copycat... Well, I'm calling them copycat lawsuits. That's the assumption that the first one was made up.
Right.
So that's it? So those people can say that? They don't get in trouble for saying that?
They might have to pay, like, legal costs and the like, but yeah, once you make an accusation like that and someone picks up on it, Usher's
Big
not...
fat lady, she gave me herpes, man. I mean, it's different if you're Usher. I mean, it's different if you're me, but that's Usher. You said big fat... You know what I mean? That's not cool, lady. You need to... You know what I mean? That's not cool. You got a wife or something?
I believe so, yeah.
Fuck, man. You imagine that shit? Usher gave me... Whoa! No, I didn't. Oh, look at this. Look at me bumping and grinding on stage with a big fat lady. This proves he gave fat lady herpes. I'm like, man!
Well, it is a crime.
Give all the joy he brought us.
It is a crime to just... I don't know that... I think it would be up to him to pursue that if you'd have to prove that somebody... like went out of their way to defame you. But yeah, defamation is a thing.
Yeah, because that's what happened.
If it was made up, then yeah. The R. Kelly thing, we don't need to play the audio from it. This woman named Faith Rogers filed the lawsuit, claims she met R. Kelly in March of 2017 when she was 19. They started seeing each other. She describes unwanted sexual contact. She also talks about dating him for a year, I think, subsequent to that. And she has this phone call that she recorded, which is... I listened to the whole thing, and I'm not saying he sounds cool, but I did not hear any smoking gun of, listen, you belong to me, fuck everybody.
Right, he didn't say anything
He actually once or twice, he's not cool. He's not cool at all, but literally once or twice is like, do you I hope I'm not, I hope you get what I'm trying to say here. I'm not trying to offend you or anything.
Oh, wow.
So this is not the damning evidence that his detractors would be hoping for.
You're saying his raping will continue, allegedly, in our opinions.
I don't know what I mean, I don't know what this woman's lawsuit is going to...
Slave raping...
I don't know what her lawsuit is going to
Hip-hop
amount
style.
to. I don't know that this phone call in and of itself is going to amount to all that much.
Right. All right, well... If you're, a young lady, odds are if you're looking to sleep with R. Kelly, you're probably not listening right now.
That's probably a safe bet.
It's a different genre.
Yeah.
But if you accidentally bump the channel and you're listening, there's better men out there. It really is. And it's already been proven that you only get like a couple pairs of sunglasses and then it's over. It doesn't keep you. How many has he kept? Not one. Think you're the one? Piss off. You're not the one. Everybody's the one. That's a traveling rapey slave guy. In my opinion. Like, is that legal, Will, what I said?
Hope so.
Okay. Well, that bad news is coming soon. Well, it's gonna be a shocker.
One other thing, try to guess
Yeah!
this man is
Having a bad tattoo artist? Other than that, good. I mean, I get the angle. Trying to be like a tribal or a warrior. Wait, is that like a machine gun on his face? I don't know. Wow, that's jail stuff, right?
He's got a lot of stuff going on in his face.
Yeah, he's got like a weird tribal forehead thing, and then there's some weird little things. I mean, he's a black guy with black ink, so it's not as critical, but it's still pretty critical, and he's pulling a mean mug in the camera.
Yeah.
He's very angry about being arrested. Fair enough. I mean, you're arrested. But I would say that he did a lot of meth, and he tried to eat someone's dog.
Yeah, he looks like DMX's methy cousin.
Yeah. No, he looks like DMX would give him money.
Yeah, agreed.
He'd be like, okay, here's my wallet. DMX alive?
Yeah.
In jail, right?
Is he?
Yeah. I mean...
Who can keep track?
Yeah, he went in.
This man, while we figured that out,
Yeah.
is accused of climbing on top of playground equipment to tell kids where babies come from.
Okay. We've got to... This is... You got to put a stop to this stuff. These are the kind of people where, you're selling doobies, you get the doobie guy out and you put this guy in, and you get that guy and you keep him in there forever. That's it. Looks like he's had a couple of warnings, Michael.
I don't think this is his first run.
Right? How that's what I'm saying. I thought it was like, how many felonies do you get before you have to go in jail forever?
He has caused a number of disturbances in this Clearwater area recently. Jail records show a number of arrests on charges of disorderly conduct, battery, and carrying a concealed weapon. Look out, folks, he is armed.
Yeah.
In this case, he was judged guilty, fined $118, and ordered to stay away from the park, then released.
Cool.
DMX, is the website dmxisinjail.com?
Is DMXinjail.com.
Oh, terrific.
And survey says?
Definitely in jail.
Right, that's what I thought.
At this moment, if something has changed, you're instructed to hit the webmaster and let him know if the status of DMX's freedom. The ever-evolving status evolves yet again.
How long's he supposed to be in for now?
I believe a year.
Yeah, I think it said a year.
The latest one, I think we talked about it a couple months ago when he played Slippin' and one other song for the judge to try to get a lighter sentence.
Yeah, he might have to work. He should have played da-da, 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 da-da. That shit was a classic.
A quick note on something you just said. Bill de Blasio, the mayor of New York City, has instructed police in New York to stop arresting people for smoking marijuana.
Yeah.
So that doesn't have anything to do with possession. That's smoking in public, and it doesn't mean it is legal. It means he wants them to issue tickets rather than arresting people.
Yeah, arrest the guy that tells all the kids where babies come from.
Yeah. Priorities.
Right? Like, do I want the guy with the doobie in the park, or do I want the guy on the playground yelling at my kid about where babies come from? You gotta get that guy.
That's so brutal because
I know, God, that's so terrifying.
I just have had the
This
feeling...
kid hearing that, dude. Fuck.
Well, so I told you nothing remotely on that level, but a couple of times, more than a couple of times, going to my kids' t-ball games and practices, there's dudes hanging out in the parking lot in their car smoking weed, and I kind of want to say something, but I also kind of don't want to be like the hothead parent to the other parents, so we roll with it. Nobody brings it up. And then there was the time that the people pitched a tent in left field, and it turns out I think they were harmless doofuses doing mushrooms, but still, to me, I thought, my first thought was, some homeless person is living in left field. We probably should do something. Our children are playing t-ball. And I feel like my read on the parents that I hang out around is, if some guy with face tattoos jumped up on playground equipment and started telling all of our children where babies come from, I would not have a ton of other dads leaping to action along with me.
No, you just call 911. That's what everybody would do. I mean, that's a sensible thing to do, you know?
Mm-hmm. You don't think while you wait for the police arrive, say, get away from those kids?
I mean, I would.
Right.
But
I would be inclined to.
I'm built for drama. But I reckon the smarter thing to do would be fucking call the cops.
Grab your kids.
Dude looks like he's... I mean, you just said so. He was armed, potentially.
That was a different time.
I'm just... Yeah, okay. And the guy's completely covered in really bad tattoos all over his face. He's a maniac that's been to jail a bunch of times. He's probably going to fucking kick your ass. You know? His life's been harder than yours.
I'm not saying I win the fight.
I'm just... Well, I would... I just, you know what I mean? Unless he was going near a kid, I'd be like, man, just get the cops here now. And maybe take a photo of him, because hopefully he'll leave. Yeah, that's a guy you don't want to have a confrontation with. Right? Those people would call my bluff every time. You weird ass. Your whole forehead is covered in weird shit.
I just feel like somebody's got to say something, and I want it to be me and two other dads. And I don't know where that I'm gonna find a
Don't unite.
You know, it's like in the Western movie when the bad guys come into town, and then like just honest farmers need to take up arms and get deputized, and there's always the guys who are like, I don't like it, but I'll do it, and then there's like the guy who you look and he has the trail of urine going down to his boot. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of those in the circles I run in. I'm not saying I'm a tough guy, but I'm willing to do what has to be done.
I know, but but you got to get everybody to agree real quick.
Yeah.
That's because I feel like everybody would do it if you could have a quick conversation about it, you know what I mean? So we could all break down how necessary it is. But it's just like, hey, you don't even get to ask your fellow dad if you're in. You're all in, or you're like, it's sensible. You know? What's sensible? I don't want to... Different groups, different people from different walks of life, different things would happen. But mainly in the white community, I feel like it would... You know? I feel like it would be a bunch of people that were pretty tough. I mean, he could be raw dog, but he looked like in that photo he looked like a fucking maniac. Yeah. And if he was like,
I'm assuming the worst. Yeah.
Yeah. If he's like 190 pounds, I'm fucking scared of that guy. Like he's been probably butt fucked. You know, he's been in jail doing God knows what. We haven't. He's going to take a shot. He's not going to be scared. Got to watch these guys.
He might have a winning record in like
cheat fighting
in shower.
He might be a butt fucker. Yeah. He might knock people out and butt fuck people. He might be looking forward to going back, and that's why he's yelling about kids coming out of pussies, so that he can knock you out and butt fuck you before he goes to prison to butt fuck everybody else.
It may have gone both ways. He might be like 5 and 3 in the shower.
And he might, but either way, he fucking is cool with it, and that is terrifying. You got to watch those people. We'll be back.
you have a date for your stem cell thing?
The love of the game. See what happens.
Will, any photos, videos?
I mean, nothing I can remember. I don't think so. I usually try to remove this one. Now I can look through all of this and see if there's anything.
Do a stand up and I'll do it.
Yeah? Where's that gonna be?
On top. You one of two
Where's
people.
the John bar?
Do you how do you have that in YouTube?
Where are you going to see Stephen?
This one?
Yeah.
I didn't.
So I'm telling you, probably keep him in the corner.
So across from you.
What time is it?
8 o'clock, 8:15, 20.
So we just roll straight into Glickman?
Yep.
Okay.
He 3 minutes. He can stick through the end of the show, so
Okay.
I can bring him in if he gets here early. He's normally one that gets here about 15 minutes late, so
I see.
I'm thinking closer to 1:45 for him. And he has a story about how a robot almost ripped off his dick.
Oh, great.
Library, come back.
Am I doing news?
Coming back.
Coming back? So I should do the commercial out here and then go in there?
I mean,
Just do it in here. Don't worry about it. I got it.
This seems too far away, Jason.
It
I
is
don't
too
know,
far
I think.
away. I'll do it.
Okay.
uh,
It's hard with all that stuff.
When should I end?
I think go till 2. You got it?
I have some older stories that I never got to that I can do.
Okay.
So 2 p.m. I could finish at 2 p.m. and that would be fine.
Yeah.
How long?
emergency, you said?
Do you know it's time to switch? No, wait. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Jason Ellis. How do you know it's time to switch to Dish?
I know!
And get their award-winning voice remote.
I know! No, I don't know. Tell me.
Okay, good, because I'll tell you, if you ever miss kickoff because someone was fumbling the remote.
Oh, I hate that!
Oh, me too. It might be time to switch to Dish.
Mm-hmm.
If you think it's weird that finding your favorite teams, movies, or shows means navigating a maze of menus and buttons,
So weird!
it might be time to switch to Dish.
Yep.
That's because Dish is different, Will.
Yes, it is.
And the world listening.
Mm-hmm.
They're making it easier than ever to get to the TV you love.
I like easy things.
And with the new powerful Dish voice remote,
Power.
you can just say what you want and it's on.
Use your voice.
With technology like that, it's a better time than ever to switch to Dish.
They're an incredible robot machine.
To learn more, call 1-844-CALL-DISH.
Call Dish.
Or go to dish.com.
Dish.com.
Or visit a local retailer near you.
Retailer?
Requires internet connector, hopper, other restrictions apply. For full details, call 1-844-CALL-DISH.
Call Dish.
Dish, it's tuned into you.
Dish.
I just want to say, sorry, Will, you can't do what I do.
What?
The world. I just added some shit right there. I'm a
Whoa.
fucking DJ. I could put one of those painted things on my head with this on my eyes, and
Yeah.
Tully could put one on, and we could just stand there and get fucking cash.
Could you like wear one of those
We could do it, Tully.
helmets?
We could get a
And,
Lamborghini
Wicka,
each. We could ram each other.
I mean,
Fun. Just walk off. No one's Lamborghiniing.
so many of those guys are just playing a tape.
Yeah. Sorry, Will, but go ahead.
Sorry. In a posting to Facebook, the NAACP president, Reverend Jared Moultrie, said...
Those are gun people, yeah?
No.
Who's NAACP? Oh, American black people.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, I'm back.
He's the president. He said...
President of black people.
Tonight, I was racially profiled by an officer because I was driving a Mercedes-Benz and going home in a nice neighborhood.
Yeah.
He said the cop accused him of having drugs in the car, said that his wife and grandchild were in the car. He asked him not to move because the officer looked like he might shoot him or something. He also said that the officer continued to ask him about his neighborhood, why was he in that neighborhood, and threatened to put him in jail in reference to something about his car registration.
And all police have a dash cam, right? I mean, what do you call it? A camera on your shoulder, shit.
This cop sure did.
So it shows that didn't happen.
It actually shows that none of that stuff happened. The cop was overly nice. I watched the tape.
So he's a racist.
No, he was just lying.
Yeah.
He had...
we don't need that guy to be the president.
I've never trusted the NAACP.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, that's going to be a quote. He had tags that belonged on a pickup truck on his Mercedes. The cop didn't...
Why would you have tags? Why the fuck would you have truck tags on your Mercedes-Benz?
The cop did not pull him over, in a in the at gunpoint kind of way or
Yeah.
anything, thinking it was a stolen car or anything.
Pulled it over because you had fake tags.
Didn't give him a ticket.
Nothing.
Nothing. Just said, hey man, you.
What is the story when you have your other car's tags on your other car? How do you? Because I feel like if I tell a cop that, he's like, okay, cool, here's your ticket. How do you get off?
Oh, look.
And then how do you report after you get off?
I believe that most cops would probably consider that to be it'd send up a red flag that this doesn't belong to this car. It might be a stolen car.
I know that one person that called before thinks I hate police officers now, thanks to whatever I said the other day, but that kind of shit pisses me off.
Yeah.
I
Now
I look like I'm on the police officer's side, but yeah.
No, that's why I wanted you to
shit is
clarify
fucked
the
up.
other day because, I wanted to make sure you got the message out cleanly.
Oh no, thanks to you, I got
And
the message out.
I thought that you did.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, since that time, the Facebook post has been deleted.
Does he lose his job?
I don't know. The police chief said when he saw the video, he was shocked that someone who's supposed to be a community leader, a pastor,
Yeah.
and head of the NAACP would just come out and tell a blatant lie like that.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
And has the NAACP guy addressed that?
I have not.
Removing the...
I've just seen where he wasn't able to be reached for comment. I have not seen him comment.
I wonder what motivates, not in a large sense, I can imagine what would motivate somebody to lie or to see something in a way that just does not reflect the objective reality of it. I just wonder what it was about that specific moment, that specific instance that made this guy who doesn't have a history of doing that go, this is the time I'm going to tell the Whopper on Facebook.
Yeah, has he done that before? Or is this the first time ever?
I don't know. But what does cause any person to think, now's my time? I'm just going to make up some shit and put it out there to the world, especially if you're like in a prominent position, you know?
I mean, that's just, you're too official to be that much of a son of a bitch. Like, that dude needs to lose his job. And, if that's anywhere else, any ranking anywhere, I don't care what color you are, that's so gnarly to just throw a cop under the bus like that for no reason. When as far as I'm concerned, he let you off.
He did.
I would assume I'm getting a ticket for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
When I put fucking other car tags on my other car, I'm pretty sure I'm up to no. What the fuck is that?
I had an
Drive
expired
your truck and wait till that shit comes in the mail.
My tag was expired. A cop pulled me over and he said, "Look, man, I'm really busy today, or I would have to tow your car."
Yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah, exactly. So I think he got off kind of scot-free.
Well, particularly, I think, based on the available information, the guy should not have that job anymore because it's not just a bad look, it's directly contrary to the stated mission in the name of the organization.
Right.
If you're trying to advance the interests of African Americans, you've done the exact opposite. It's like being, part of the World Wildlife Federation and going around kicking pandas.
Yeah. So is he fired? Because if he's not, then like Michael said, then NAACP is bullshit.
And then when somebody does have a bad experience with a police officer, it just throws them in a bad light. Yep. Do we believe them or not? So yeah, that's bad. Who's preparing for a giant earthquake here in Los Angeles?
Me.
Are you?
Yep. I'm gonna get a Lamborghini. I can't afford it.
Also preparing, Arizona.
Is there a volcano in Arizona?
Government agencies, businesses, and other organizations in Arizona are completing a practice exercise on responding to 400,000 people migrating from California to Arizona in the case of a catastrophic earthquake.
Yeah, sure.
Because, look, a catastrophic earthquake is going to happen at some time. Is it during our lifetimes? I don't know. Is it now? Is it an hour from now? Next week? Who knows? It will happen.
Yeah, sooner or later, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people will have to move from one place to another haphazardly, and then that other place is going to have to deal with it with help from neighboring states and the federal government.
Yeah, I think that's pretty smart of Arizona to be doing that. Be prepared.
You could say that about anywhere, though.
I have to stay here or they'll fire me.
No,
I can't move to Arizona.
No,
What do you mean that's not true? It is true.
if
Can't move.
if a giant hole opens up in the earth and swallows Los Angeles
No, I'm
to
saying-
the extent that 500,000 people just flee for
No,
their
no, no,
lives.
no.
Yeah.
I'm saying if right now, if I flee because I think that LA is going to snap off,
Yeah.
they'll fire me.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, no, I definitely. If you say I'm deserting my post,
Middle
for
of the contract right now too, so
for the reason
I think it would be
Probably-
frowned
I don't
upon.
want to throw in that I'm going to Arizona on the top of it.
no, you have to. You can't, you
Oh,
can't,
by the way.
you
Oh,
can't,
by it, right?
you can't leave because of fear of the big one. You would be able to
Okay.
leave because of the big one.
Right, which means Scott Greenstein murdered me.
It's like buying a burglar alarm after you've been robbed.
Sure.
So wait, let me get this straight. The volcano's still going, and everyone's worried about the earthquake in California. There's a huge chance that we're gonna die.
Well,
don't
see, that's
know.
my question.
Soon.
That is my question. To the extent that, like, insurance companies have to weight risk. You know, like what is the likelihood of something? Is the big one hitting Southern California actually the thing that people need to be preparing for most? Like, I would say, for example, it's possibly more likely that some sort of terrorist attack hitting New York is more likely than the big one. An insurance company would have already weighed these sorts of things.
Yeah, but that
Does
would
anybody
affect
want to
so
lend me their Lamborghini this weekend? I mean, fuck, man.
that would affect so fewer people. Unless it was an enormous thing, you
Yeah,
know,
I'm
because
talking
an
about a big
earthquake. Yeah,
You check Lamborghini rentals. I might have to rent one this weekend.
I'm just saying that the San Andreas fault gets a lot of press. Maybe it is the most likely catastrophic thing that happens in America. I just don't know if that's the reality or if that's just sort of what we all assume because we've all been talking about when California falls in the ocean.
Well, look, here's what they know. They know that it will happen.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know when. And they know that it will be horrific when that giant thing does come. They just
Yeah.
don't know when.
When was the last, like, truly catastrophic?
We're also overdue, by the way, is what they say. I mean, you know, I guess the, what's the, something, Northridge?
Northridge?
Northridge was the last big earthquake to hit
Did
California.
500,000 people flee to Arizona?
No. That
So
was
when-
that
so
was
when-
not what you would call catastrophic. That was really terrible.
No, I know, but when was the last one that would have driven, if it had happened, tens of millions of people here, that everybody would have gone to Arizona?
I think it was in probably the early 1900s, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I'd have to look that up. But over in the UK, a rapist is behind bars.
Yeah!
And some are pretty surprised at who it is. Police say the pervert is...
Is it that chef guy?
No.
Vitali?
No.
See that guy? He's fingering people. So gross.
Yeah.
That dude's a potato.
While he's making food.
I've met that guy a bunch of times, and
Ew.
he's pretty gross.
He's a... Ew.
Police say the pervert is a notorious figure in Scotland's Asian gangster underworld. Let that sink in for a minute.
Okay, he's an Asian gangster in Scotland.
Yeah.
That can happen.
At the High
Does he have a
Court...
Scottish Asian accent? Because I'm fucking super into
don't-
hearing that.
Oh, no. At the
I
High...
know all my American friends trip out when they hear Asian Australian accents.
I don't know that I've ever heard that.
Well, it's it's like me, but with a little bit of Asian on the top of it instead of Asian American assholes. They would say asshole instead of asshole, but put the Asian in it. I can't do that.
At the High Court in Edinburgh this week, Omar Mohammed Khan was sentenced to 7 years in prison. It's believed that Khan forged friendships with some Slovakian nationals after giving them work at his garage. They kept their sex lives secret from everyone around them. All the while, they met men on Grindr before raping them.
But if you go on, whatever, okay.
They were also found guilty of luring a 40-year-old man on Grindr to a deserted industrial estate to attack and rob him as well. So they're just using that thing for all kinds of terrible crimes.
Okay.
Bars now, so.
So robbing him, sure, but I didn't know, like, raping a guy that met you on Grindr. I'm pretty sure he came there to be raped. I mean, to be butt challenged.
There might be a big difference.
Well, technology changes, but human nature doesn't.
Right. Let's talk about the cleaner wiener.
The cleaner wiener?
That's right.
Because people have dirty dicks and they need to clean them?
No. Big naturals is what we're talking about.
Big,
that was
where you
that-
get a big natural dick and it's dirty.
That was originally my website.
No, the company is Applegate's Naturals, who make the hot dogs. They don't have any GMOs, and they're all.
Oh, it's a natural wiener.
No, nice
Yes, natural,
Yeah, that's
natural
mine.
weenies.
Uncut, natural.
They did a survey so that they could get a shout out at a prestige news organization.
Speaking of
such as this one.
unnatural dicks,
Speaking of solid wieners.
I got to
That's the
assume
best possible intro for me.
Clean wieners.
it's the Glickos, Stephen Glickman, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, motherfucker.
Maybe it's not him. Maybe it's somebody else. We'll find out later. Anyway,
Go ahead, we're talking wieners.
43% of Americans say they are scared to find out what's in their hot dog.
maybe you should stop eating it. Especially, maybe you should. Everybody should listen to this podcast I have coming out on Friday about what you should put in a diet and the plant-based thing. I am now. I'm getting smoothies sent to the studio because I've got to get my greens in.
Right.
I've got to. And I've got to get my plants and nuts and all that shit in this smoothie because there's no way I have time to eat it. But I figured out if you get a smoothie with all this shit, it doesn't taste as good, nowhere near as good if you have all the green stuff in your smoothie instead of all the other cool stuff or chocolate or vanilla and shit. It's not as good, I'm not going to lie. But it is one big thing. You can have 2 of them a day. You just down it, then you can have some other stuff and it's cool and you stay alive. It's like, it's like to me, HGH is supposed to be a miracle drug. Plants and fruits and vegetables are the miracle drug, and I've just been like brushing it every now. Oh yeah, man, I'll have some vegetables and my shit. I mean, I gotta take care of myself. No, they've got drugs for sale, ladies and gentlemen. The world's selling drugs that is cure and shit, and you can get it at the supermarket. Stock up on vegetables, fruits and vegetables.
Wow.
Stephen Glickman.
The more you know.
Who are you, Mr. T?
Maybe, I mean, that might, hopefully, if I could stay around long enough.
Eat your
I can
vegetables.
Do some car commercials and shit when I'm
In
70.
your position as the spokesperson for the American Vegetable Organization, I'm sure you.
Yeah,
you
no,
agree with
we
us, Stephen.
really appreciate it. The Vegetable Association of America really appreciates everything you're doing for us.
That's what
Vag.
I would say.
I know. I was trying to make
Wait,
that one too.
Yeah, exactly.
What's the G? What's the G?
Vegetables.
Sorry.
I'll do some more news later or something.
No, what? Oh.
Keep going.
Yeah, like,
Yeah, I mean,
Glickman's
you
here.
know,
I don't give a
We're giving
shit.
away
Please.
tickets for Glickman shows, but we're doing Will's news.
The man, he's starving for information.
Glickman's
Come
a
on.
dumb fucking prick and he needs information.
Okay.
I'm really dumb. I really need your help.
That's why I came here.
All the important news. Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, what are we talking about him for?
He set himself up to be real good and shocked and admonish somebody.
And what did...
He got this girl up on stage at his concert in Gulf Shores, Alabama, and had her do Mad City, which has the N-word in it a bunch. She sang it, and then he stopped the song in the middle and said, "Hey, why are you using that word?" And she's like, because, I was singing it the way you wrote it.
Oh no!
Oh, that's dumb.
Wait, he stopped it?
Yeah.
Stop the song when he
I mean,
brought
why?
her on stage.
Why have her sing the song that's got?
That's
man.
entrapment.
It is.
Kendrick Lamar.
That's really stupid.
I think it is.
I don't want to hear it.
She said, "Did I do it? I'm sorry. I'm used to singing it like you wrote it." She said that into the microphone when he stopped the song in the middle
Good.
of it.
She's right.
Yeah.
She is right. I mean, I was reading all these headlines and I was like, "Oh my God, what is this? Great, she's representing Alabama real
Why
well."
would you ask her to sing the song?
Right.
Oh,
Everybody
great.
gets a pass when they're singing along to rap music. Come on.
Yeah.
See, that's what.
Yeah, fucking seriously.
That is the opposite of what I've encountered on a couple of different occasions recently.
Not me.
Is that people talk about how you cannot do that.
That's stupid.
No, not
People
me.
got to free their mind. I remember one time I had a football coach, and he was driving me home from practice, and Opposites Attract by Paula Abdul was on the radio, and he was making a point of how tough he was to me by only doing the MC Scat Cat parts.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Like he couldn't do the Paula Abdul because he
Makes
was
sense.
too emasculating.
Right. This is the same argument, Michael. Well said. Yeah, people are getting angry. Yeah. We don't need. I mean, you can play it if you want, but
Are you playing Opposites Attract?
yeah, put it up.
A scat cat.
And he steals the cup.
Yeah, you know they do that, Michael. You're a homo.
Yeah, you are appropriating her gender.
No, this was in the 80s. You were gay, dude.
I get upset.
He didn't
This was the
appropriate
first
that.
time I ever saw it. When I was a kid, I remember watching this and being like, "Oh my god, that cartoon cat's gonna bang Paul Abdul."
Oh, he did.
Like, he's about to bang her right now.
He's doing it.
It's happening.
I think it's more like Paul Abdul got to bang that cat. That was on fire.
Oh my god.
That cat got his own series.
Oh my god.
He really took off from there.
Yeah, I think he had a cereal. Well deserved.
Yeah. Good job. Good job, Scat
Wait,
Cat.
wait, wait.
One of the most popular scat themed cereals. Of all
Yeah,
time.
you can't have scat on a cereal. Unless it's like Cocoa Pops or something.
He put a kiss on her cheek and it stuck on her and it looked like a pussy stuck on her face.
Cocoa flavored
weird.
scat balls.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bad man.
Police in Hazleton, Pennsylvania raided an ordinary house on an ordinary block on an ordinary street.
Well, why'd they raid it then if it was so ordinary?
They were getting complaints going back to last summer, and they finally got a search warrant for the place. Apparently, these people are running an illegal nightclub in their house.
Fuck yeah. But that's weird how it lasted that long.
Yeah.
Because an illegal nightclub means at one point it was a nightclub.
No,
You
it was
catch
a
on pretty
house.
quick when you're a neighbor, right?
Well, yeah.
No, they started a nightclub in the house.
Yeah, but I'm saying if you're a neighbor, you know they've got a nightclub in the house.
Right.
At nighttime, you sense it
From the
because-
loud...
from the
music.
nightclub vibe
From
and
the nightclub
house.
going on.
And then that's-
and the fact that there's a bouncer at the front
Yeah.
door of your neighbor's house.
yeah, like-
Actually,
Well, you do
yeah.
it at one time because it's a party.
Sure.
yeah, sure. One time, I'll go with that, but not all the time. But the nightclubs are not one time.
More
Sorry.
than 300 people would show up on some nights. They would stay open
That's not
from 2:30 to 7 a.m. They had
They do that in LA. I bet you go to a bunch of those, Glickman, because I see you. You're always on the red carpet. You butt buddy with all famous people.
That is very true. I am butt buddies with a lot of famous
And you
people.
go out and you blow smoke up each other's ass.
That is true.
Eating late at night after the club, because I know you've talked about that on the show.
I have a real problem eating late at night.
Right, and then you know what I mean. Who knows what happens with these other people? But it's probably like that.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
It's all weird.
they
Yeah,
they
things
did
get
have armed security at all entrances. So
Do
you were
you not
right.
go
They
to
had
house
bouncers.
parties though? Seriously,
What?
do you not go to house parties?
I've been to a couple of house parties.
Like the after LA parties where it's somebody's house because clubs close, right?
Not as...
You never been to that?
Not really.
Oh.
I mean, not as...
You're aware of them though, right?
I know what they are. I mean,
Right.
I've been to them back in the day.
'Cause that's- I did
But you
back in
end
the day.
like it always seems like it's going to be very exciting, and then you're just at the guy from the Scorpions house. You know the band. Remember the band, the Scorpions?
Yeah.
There's a couple times where like I've been out with people and they're like, "We're going to this fucking big ass house party," and then it's that guy from the Scorpions, and you're in his giant old weird mansion, and he's like playing Scorpions hits in the living room on the guitar. And
Sounds
you're like,
awesome.
You're like this.
When does the bad part start?
Like
Yeah.
it's fine, but it's weird because everyone there is old and weird.
Yeah.
Like it's not like the party. I've
You
been
mean
to
like
very-
us in this room?
Yeah, it's not like it's
That's
like
when you grab the lube and a Speedo and you just lube it up and start jerking your nipples off.
there we
'Cause
go.
it's fucking party time.
I've had a couple of weird parties I've been to, but every once in a while you end up at this guy's house and then you're just like, what are we doing?
Scorpions one, are you making that up or did that really?
No, that's real happened.
Okay,
That's really
here's
happened.
my question.
Yeah.
Was it, what size party? Was it one conversation party or multiple conversation?
Multiple conversation
See,
parties.
that's not so bad. When
Yeah.
you can't
Yeah,
get
you're not
out of
forced
this,
to
when
watch
you
his
can't
leg
get out of the
breaks.
circle.
But the conversation that was happening was me and like three of my, fat friends being like, what are we doing here?
Oh.
None of us, there's no ladies.
Oh.
And it's
Would have
just
been
a
tons
bunch
of blow though, right?
Yeah, a lot of blow. And a lot of old men sitting around and listening to the Scorpions.
So crazy old
It was
men
weird.
can
It
do
was a
blow.
weird situation.
So how long ago was this?
That's probably a couple of years ago.
Only a couple
Two,
though.
maybe a year or two.
Fuck! Only a year
I
or
mean-
two ago, he was doing blow and playing lead breaks in
I
that
once-
fucking house still.
Oh, absolutely. I once got invited to a party that was being thrown by this woman who worked for the Republican senator, and they were throwing this up at the Hollywood Hills. It was like way up at the top of Hollywood Hills. And I get to this party, and I walk up to the front, and she goes, "How much have you had to drink?" And I was driving, and I was like, "I haven't had anything to drink." And she goes, "You got to do like 3 or 4 shots before you walk in the door, because you're not going to be able to handle what's going on in there." And so I drank with her outside the house. Like, she wouldn't let me into the house until I was already drunk. And then I walked in, and it was like congressmen and senators from this party, like with their pants off, running around with women and shitloads of coke and bottles, empty bottles everywhere, and it was the fucking weirdest night. It's the weirdest party I've ever been to, because there was no Hollywood stuff. There was nobody that was like kind of famous at the party. It was just people in politics with their pants off, running around shirtless. A couple of them were naked. There was a hot tub, and at some point they all got in the hot tub, and they were all sitting around the hot tub, and then they asked me to get in the hot tub and like do stand up for them in the hot tub.
Naked.
It was like with my pants off, and I was like,
were chicks jerking you off and shit?
Chicks were jerking off the other
you.
guys. I wasn't getting jerked off.
Did you think that it was?
I thought it was gonna happen.
That's why you told the jokes.
That's why I started doing stand up with my pants off. Yeah, right. But it did not. I did not get jerked.
Oh,
but it was
about to say that you got a girlfriend or something.
No girlfriend at the time. But it was like 5 o'clock in the morning. Around like 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock is when like I finally left. When you say like a party that's going till 7 o'clock in the morning, like that shit happens all the time. And I don't get invited to that shit anymore because I'm old and fat.
Right.
But at the time I was out running around.
Now, were these were the actual elected officials?
Mm-hmm.
Not their staff? Okay, that's question number one.
No, they were, and it was fucking crazy, man.
That's question number one. Question number two is, did anybody talk to you about like what happens in the hills stays in the hills? Because that's really indiscreet of them.
Yeah,
you didn't know anybody though.
The
right?
only person I knew was the girl that had invited me to the party, who had seen me at the Improv to stand up.
You didn't recognize anybody.
I knew a couple. I think a couple of them. I'm not a very political person, but I knew that she worked for the Republican Party.
That guy looks kind of John McCain-ish.
Yeah, like it was nobody. It was no one that was like super famous in politics, but it was like people that were either running for office or people who were in office in out and around the.
And they didn't take your
country.
phone away or anything.
No, and I didn't take any pictures.
And
I tried to take a picture of a bunch of them at one point, because there was a girl that was dancing up on a table, and I was like, I'm going to take a picture of this girl dancing on the table, because it just was so weird. And when I did, a bunch of guys started yelling at me and telling me I had to delete the picture.
Fuck yeah, you do.
Oh, it was fucking bizarre.
They'll delete you.
Yeah.
Last question.
Yes, please, of course.
Do you feel like they were all from one side, or were both parties represented?
Oh no. It was a Republican party.
Republican.
Yeah, no. It was and I'm not saying that to be shitty, because I'm Canadian, but that's what it was.
Yeah. No, I'm sure you could find Democrats doing the same thing.
I'm sure, absolutely. But it was the girl who had invited me. This girl Courtney. She was she knew me from the Improv, and so she'd invite me. And every once in a while, like, comics, you get invited to other people's shit because they want you to like be funny and like hang out, even if there's no one else there that you know. Talia Shire from Rocky. This is a super weird story, but very, very quick story. I was working at the Friars Club in Beverly Hills before the Friars Club was literally torn down. They had a Friars Club in Beverly Hills that I used to be the piano player there, and I was also the MC for their stand-up comedy night, which was a fucking amazing night. It was like Marin and like Gilbert Godfrey and all these great people.
Oh shit!
So Talia Shire from Rocky, one of her sons is Jason Schwartzman from Rushmore and all this stuff. One of the other sons would come and hang out at the place, and he was just this like rich kid who was always drunk, and he lived 1 block away on I'm afraid of the name of the street, but it was like 1 block away. Charliewood, Charliewood, something like that. Anyways, in Beverly Hills. So they invite me over to the house. That's it. That's the fuck. Oh, that's so weird. That's the club right there. It's gone now. It's a parking lot. But at the time,
Charlieville.
Charlieville.
Yeah.
Yes, on Charlieville. So they invite me over to this guy's house, and I'm hanging out. We're having fun, and I go there. I bring other comics with me, and it's like a place after our shows that I'd bring other like famous comics. I'd let them come over to this guy's house, and we'd hang out. It was a lot of fun. And then One night, I'm hanging out in this guy's living room. And we're sitting there, and he goes, "How's your day?" And I go, "It's kind of a rough day." And he goes, "What happened?" I go, "Oh, I just had a hard day at work." And he goes, "Oh, was it hard at the comedy club?" It must be hard. And I go, "No, at the time I was like, I have a day job."
Right.
And he goes, "What do you mean?" And I go, like, "I have a day job where I make a living, like where I go to work." And he goes, "Where do you work at?" And I go, "I work at an oil factory where they make perfume, like a perfume oil factory in the valley."
Yeah.
And he goes, "What does that mean?" And I go, "I don't know what you mean. I have a job. Like, I work at a job. And then it's a factory, and I work with a bunch of people." And he goes, "So you go to work every day?" And I go, "Yeah, man." And he goes, "Oh, okay." And then he picked up his watch off the counter and put it in his pocket. And I was like, "What the fuck is this about?" And then he goes, "Hey, honey," and like goes and talks to her. And then his wife comes in and takes one of her rings off the table. And they like start removing everything of value from around their house. And then they asked me to leave. And then he never spoke to me ever again. Like, he got freaked out. Talia Shire's son got freaked out that I had a day job, and he thought that meant I would steal from him. And like, he stopped coming to the club. He stopped inviting people over. Like, he just had a full-blown panic attack that like,
From you having a job.
from me having a day job. That's how elitist some of these people are. That like, they think that like people don't like work and have lived. Like, this guy never had a job. Like, he just lived off of his family.
Yeah, but he must be aware of other people having jobs. It's on TV.
Yeah, I've seen it in movies.
Yeah,
Did you ever see 9 to 5?
Yeah,
Maybe
right.
just like the whole story.
Right.
It just
the song.
made him like so
It lays the song.
uncomfortable that there would be someone in his house that has to like work for a living.
How did they ask you to leave?
He just was like, "It's late. We should call it. It's probably the end of the night. You know, it's probably time to go." And I was like, "What the fuck is going on right now?" It was like the weirdest. I don't know why I'm telling you guys this story, but it was just like the most surreal.
Bashing rich people.
Yeah,
That's
we
why.
are. We're bashing rich people.
Yeah.
But it was a fucking bizarre. It was bizarre.
Fuck, let them eat cake.
Yeah.
I was thinking the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
Fucking French people, right?
Dude, there's a fucking...
Cake.
there's
I was thinking about cake too.
I find this so ironic, and I put this on social media, and maybe I didn't have a good enough zinger. I don't think people really got it. There's a chocolatier on Rodeo Drive.
What's a
that has,
chocolatier?
They make chocolate.
Okay.
And they have this like stylized photo, painting on the wall of Marie Antoinette, and it just says "Let them eat cake" in this dessert shop. And I'm like, does nobody see the irony of this place with $10 pieces of chocolate on Rodeo Drive literally having a sign on the wall that says "Let them eat cake"? Am I the only person who sees the humor in that?
I think
really
the person
funny.
that put it up there must have seen that.
Yeah, that's what I think too. They're like, "Fuck you guys."
I
Putting
don't
my
think- I
cakes on.
I think they were just like, yeah, man, it's fucking badass, you know, fucking chocolate.
Cake
Fucking-
themed.
What's a fucking rich thing about cake? Throw it up there.
Yeah, that's
Rich
pretty
people,
fucking
cakes.
ridiculous.
That's us.
People are
Cake people are
ridiculous.
ridiculous, though. So I don't want to offend cake people and get a couple of people to unlisten to the show, but just, you know, cake people go, I love cake and art. I go to cake and art all the time to get my cakes for all my kids. I'm just saying, you're really, you know, you're little...
Are you attacking cakes?
I'm attacking cupcake makers more than I am cake makers. But yeah, sure, cake are next in line.
Yeah.
Cupcake makers are number one, what the fuck? And then number two,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Some of
Give me the
Desserts have
keys.
lost their goddamn mind.
Yeah, calm the fuck down.
Some of my best friends are cake makers.
Sure, man. You're just
Yeah.
you're just a powder Nazi.
Speaking of potatoes,
You just swell shit up and get all fucking anal about it. You know what I mean?
That's so weird. I love that.
speaking of potatoes, James Johnson.
Did you know there's another fake surf wave thing in Texas? Texas have 2 fucking fake waves now.
What? Wait, what
Two.
does that mean?
They have these perfect wave places where it's a machine that just makes a way that you can surf whenever you want. Perfect peeling off wave. And it's not in the ocean, it's at a pool. Now Texas has 2 of them. What the fuck? I'm not in Texas.
And
Will
you-
they find me if I move to Texas, Will?
I don't think so. You can try it and see. I know, I'm not
I
sure.
can't try it and
What
see.
is it?
Yeah.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
No, I'm telling you, Glickman.
Oh, that
Tony
looks-
Hawk told me that he went there, and you didn't even have to paddle into it if you're a full petard. They'll fucking tow you in on a jet ski and say, "Go jump in the wave," and then you can get in there, and you're in a fucking barrel. You get a photo, and you're just like, "Woo! Okay, maybe not everybody wants to get barreled, but I do, and I want to get a photo, and I fucking love... That's the best part about surfing. I don't want anyone to yell at me or get mad at me. I don't want to get eaten by a shark, but I fucking sure as hell want to get... Look at that green room. Look at that kid, he's like 8, he got in the green room. He's probably really good, but still... Sorry. Will.
It doesn't look that cool with buildings behind you.
No, you could rent a house. Come on, you could rent that house and go out there like all the time.
Yeah, I guess so.
That guy just did a massive air on one.
Wow.
Yeah.
If they just glued...
Look, assholes can get it. Then they have the asshole wave.
Okay.
So I will not be a part of that. But
No, I do.
The
I want
asshole wave.
As an asshole, if they glue the board to my feet and I just keep trying over and over, eventually am I able to just stand up and get
I
the
think
feeling?
gluing it's a bad idea. If you fall off, you'll be drowning because your
Upside
feet will be
down.
upside down. Yeah.
Mm.
So you want to just... I mean, you won't slip off, Michael. Just stand on the fucking thing,
So
and then they
can I
push
just-
you out there.
Yeah, can I just stand on it?
I
So
think they
basically-
tow you. I think you can stand on the back of the jet ski with the surfboard on the water with your feet on it, and then you just push off.
Yeah.
From that, and then the wave catches your momentum, and off you go.
So as
Tony told me.
As a complete idiot, I can have 90% of the fun that surfing has to offer with zero
Yes,
training.
I'm telling you, Michael, that if you went there
Wow.
for a weekend, you would end up having a video of you fucking skimming along a wave. And then,
Doesn't it look
I
like-
bet you if you gave a fuck, sorry, Stephen,
No.
but if you gave a fuck, you could probably go to the ocean if there was a wave. You'd probably end up catching it now because you got the vibe.
Doesn't it look like you could hit one of those metal poles, though, that was hanging?
No, I mean, you
Does
probably
it look
would.
dangerous?
Where
Yeah, I
I
would.
would.
Yeah, I would.
It's a game of chance.
Yeah, you're really bringing up some shit to try and kill this, Glickman, and it's not working out. He's really trying to spoil it. I don't know why.
I'm
You're
sorry,
against water or something, or
I'm afraid of the ocean.
surfing.
The poles are on the other
Well,
side
this
of
is
the
your
wave.
calling. You're afraid of the ocean. It's a pool.
That's what it is?
No sharks.
Okay, all right.
Zero.
All right, I guess I could give it a
No
shot.
reef.
That is a giant
When you fall,
swimming
you don't
pool.
get cut.
Not a lot of fat surfers, though, right?
Yeah, but that not now. But now with
Yeah.
the fake wave, bet you there's going to be tons of fat surfers cutting it up. Just barrels getting barreled.
Get a lot of views on your YouTube video of that.
Ooh,
you know?
Glickman in
There you
the
go.
green room.
Ooh, I like this idea. That's
Yeah.
a good idea.
Look at that. Fuck, it's so cool. God, I want to do that. Anyway.
Waco.
Well,
Oh, I was just going to say something about potatoes.
Yeah, I'm turning into a potato.
Officers in the UK saw James Johnson, 30 years old, entering a travel lodge. He caught their attention because he was wearing a woman's bra over his shirt and carrying a bag of potatoes. Officers talked to him, and something seemed a little off. They ended up searching his room and found what they called an Aladdin's cave of drugs. They found ecstasy, another designer drug, which I don't know, but it's apparently similar to MDMA, called 5-MAP-B.
Cool. Tell Jude about it.
Another one, 2CB. I don't know.
Does that make you tan and give you a boner?
Yeah. They also found a bathtub overflowing with potatoes.
They're dragons.
okay.
What's the, is it the food of choice when you're popping
In
Molly?
court, it was revealed that James Johnson and two of his friends had decided to go on a one-night binge. Lasted for 5 days. He had bought the drugs on the dark web for about 750 pounds, but a drug expert found he actually had $300 worth of drugs, so he got ripped off. He was remorseful, is described as intelligent, but the thing is, when Judge Peter Henry asked James Johnson why he was filling up a bath with potatoes, he replied,
Anybody have a guess?
Making soup.
It's the only way I can come.
it felt like the right thing to do at the time.
Right, no, mate. That is the only other answer he could have had.
According to a survey in 2017 by the Royal Society for Public Health, Britons aged 14 to 24 believe that Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter all have detrimental effects on their well-being.
Yeah, so does
And, you know,
smoking and drinking and eating cheese.
We're,
Next.
we're finding out more and more how true this is. There's another report out talking about how bad it is to constantly be looking at your phone all the time. Here's what this study finds. Social network platforms exacerbate anxiety and depression, deprive people of sleep, expose them to bullying, create worries about their body image, and cause them to experience FOMO, Fear of missing out.
Oh, you're picking on me again.
No. Not to mention, Sean Parker, the Facebook guy, he had said, yeah, this is what we do. We exploit the vulnerabilities in human psychology to make you come back for more and more and more.
Yeah.
Neuroscientists in 2014 concluded that Facebook triggers the same impulsive part of the brain as gambling and substance abuse.
Yep. Teaching your kids to be drug addicts.
Yeah, except they're the internet. And
It's the most boring addiction ever.
Come on, Michael.
It is. What's a tell me it?
Smoking?
It's pretty rock and roll.
Is it?
I actually get happy when they do like an update on like Facebook or on Snapchat or on one of these things, and it ruins the app. You know how that happens?
Yeah.
Like sometimes, every time that happens, it's like the best feeling in the world because I'm like, I don't have to worry about that one anymore. I can stop. I can stop Snapchatting now as an almost 40-year-old man. I can just like drop one thing and then just vote. Like when LinkedIn died off, I was like, oh, thank God. Like just another thing I don't have to.
Because it's a big part of your business. Are you doing it for
business
or
for business?
How much of that is personal?
Not very much of it, but it is. There is some of it that's personal. But I try so hard to use Facebook and Twitter and Instagram for like business only. But if you don't add a little bit of personal here and there, like people lose interest.
Right.
You know, if you're only promoting your shows and going, hey, don't forget to come to my show.
Right.
People just are like, fuck off.
Right.
You know?
I think it's like because we do use it for work, but it's like when they train the monkey to smoke because hey, look at that smoking monkey. Like sooner or later, the monkey's gonna want to smoke when it's not showtime.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's right. Everybody's a smoking monkey, Michael.
The worst social network to be on may be Instagram. The stat on that, nearly 63% of Instagram users report being miserable.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. There are two things you can do on your phone that actually help create happiness, however.
Throw it in the toilet.
No.
Masturbation.
No, that's not listed here.
Put it on vibrate, put it in your butt.
Yeah, no.
VR sex.
The happiness...
Call your mama, you cry baby.
The happiness for phone calls. The happiness rate is 84%, and the happiness rate for FaceTime is 91%. So actually get out there and communicate, young people.
Right. Yeah. What about if you're super hot? Then how is it on Instagram?
Awesome.
Right? It's gotta be.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Everybody's just worshiping.
I mean, if you're
you
super
all the
hot,
time.
is it depressing on there like the rest of us?
You get so many dick pics all the time. It's sweet.
Look, I know you're being sarcastic, but honestly, if you're a super hot, young, attractive person, is it depressing to be on Instagram taking photos of your pretty face or your big ass or your abs, whatever the fuck it is that you're cashing in?
I think
is it sad for them?
It's probably still depressing in other ways for them,
right?
Because then they have to deal with like guys writing them horrifying shit, like horrible stuff. Like Kate Quigley, Kate Quigley, the comic.
Sure.
Her Instagram is just full of like hot pictures of her and also like flyers for shows that she has coming up. But if you look at some of the stuff that guys actually write her, it's fucking vicious. Like people are awful to her. So it's and she is a I think that's a pretty good example of somebody that's like a pretty person that uses it, that gets good stuff out of it because everyone likes those pictures. But then also when you look at the comments, like people trash her and say awful shit to her.
I think there's some people for whom it is not a mixed bag. Our friend Tyler Posey, who
sure.
I love, just throws up like, "Hey guys, look, I found a spoon," and he just gets like 250,000.
Damn it!
Yeah, nobody says
That
it's the best spoon
son
they've
of
ever
a
seen.
bitch.
I don't think nobody says anything bad about the spoon or anything.
Right.
No, and he just gets DMs from girls being like, "Please, if you don't leave your girlfriend for me, I'll kill myself."
Yeah, that's the only bad
100%. Yeah, that's 100% true.
Wow, that's
He's
amazing.
a very good looking guy.
He's not even that good looking. He's high all the time. Whatever.
Yeah,
I watched him get the shit kicked out of himself at your house.
Oh yeah.
It's brutal.
He liked that.
Yeah.
That's
I just
something
like
about-
that you kept pretending like his time wasn't over yet.
Yeah, well, I'm an asshole.
It was great.
What would make you use the U.S. mail again?
I think I use it.
You do?
Yeah, I mail stuff to people all the time from here.
So you're the one. No. I think you use like FedEx or UPS or
Well,
something.
then fuck that place. Oh no, I've been there. No, I mail shit. I've gone there. No, because I know. Because every time I go, it's a fucker.
Post office.
Yeah, to the post office, and I'm like, here goes the fucking bag thing, and they're like, man, not right now, some shit. And I'm like, okay, I'll give back later. And then they're like, okay, we'll take your thing or some shit.
That sounds like the post office.
You don't have the right thing. You got to come back with something else. I'm like, all right. Well, I remember getting some, but it wasn't easy.
They always give me pens that have so much flair taped onto it. Like, what makes you think I want to steal your fucking Bic, lady?
Yeah. That's a song.
Because it's happened a million times.
Yeah. It's got feathers on it.
Yeah, it always has like fake flowers. Like, come on.
It's
dude.
like the key to the bathroom at a gas station. I mean, they got to put like a cinder block on it or something, or somebody's going to walk away with it. And that gets irritating after a while.
I'm sick of carrying a cinder block in my pocket to the bathroom. My shorts get pulled down.
Well, you got to give the post office credit for trying. Now they've announced...
You're not trying.
That's
first. Trying with them.
It's the first of its kind stamp.
Oh, fuck off.
Tramp stamp?
No! That would be awesome, though. That's a good idea. You could suggest that. It's a scratch and sniff stamp.
No. No. No.
Yeah. It is.
I want this news to not... I want it dumped. I don't want anyone to know about this. This is not news. Fuck you, post office. You did not get a whole pass on this one.
Could they add scratch and sniff to stamps that already exist?
Can they add fuck off? Can they add fuck off? Can they do that? Can they fuck off? Good, because that's what I want them to do. Not saying anything good at scratches. Fuck off. Don't work on scratches and sniff. Work on paying them more to do their job better. Oh, here we go. Now I'm doing it again.
There we go.
Dude, I'm not listening to you anymore. My granddad was a postie. Right, come on, man. They do a bad job there. If you paid them more, maybe they do a better job.
You're just asking for bigger wages for Grandpappy. That's great.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you serious?
Yeah, you were defending the postal workers.
They need more money so that they care about their job.
But wouldn't flavored stamps be way better?
Oh, why?
Because you gotta lick them,
Man, it's like you're gonna... It's like fucking a butt. You just spit on it.
Have you ever seen an old person lick a postage stamp, Jason?
Joking. I will not watch an old person open their mouth.
He's been eating eggs.
As soon as I see that it's about to open, I look away.
Runny scrambled eggs, and then he's got to lick the back of a postage stamp.
That shit is a horror movie to me.
In Ontario, Canada, police were called to the area of Market Street and Chatham Street in the early morning hours to conduct an investigation. Around 2 a.m., one of the officers entered his police cruiser and began driving, and then he noticed there was a dude under his car.
Van Damme?
How do you notice that?
Maybe the car, hit a couple of bumps.
Oh, he ran a guy over that was sleeping in front of him, you think?
Sideshow Bob, then he went through the cactus field.
No. They're trying to, figure out what exactly happened here. Maybe the guy was, sleeping under the car. He is hurt. Pretty badly. He's not dead.
That's amazing.
That's where I'm from. London, Ontario.
Under a police car?
Yeah. Well, I was born under a police car, but
because obviously, I mean, that's a tough story. I've really
risen up.
Risen to the top.
Yeah.
World.
That book, I can't wait to read.
This is the weird thing. The officer soon came to realize that a man, the 25-year-old, was under the cruiser. Once the man was freed, he became involved in an interaction with the officers.
Yeah, like he was angry at the officer for running him over?
I don't know. That seems to imply something like that, right?
Sleep.
Or they were like, hey, get under my car and beat him up for it?
Right? Who knows? Anyway, they're investigating. They're investigating it. So
I hope they get to the bottom of that. I want to get to the bottom of the NAACP guy. If he's not fired, that place sucks.
A South Carolina man was set out to enjoy a nice day outdoors, hanging out with friends, maybe do a little kayaking, and that's when the rattlesnake jumped into the boat and bit him.
Wait, out of the ground into the boat?
No, out of a tree.
Oh, it fell.
Well, fell, pushed, jumped. Who knows?
Well, you can't say pushed.
Pushed. He was pushed.
Nobody pushed
into the boat by a raccoon.
I can see a boat hitting a tree and then it shakes the tree branch and then the snake falls into the fucking boat.
He got bit like a bunch of times,
good.
too. No, he might be dead. I mean, he was taken to the hospital. They had anti-venom there, and, so they were able to get that in him, but, he had to be flown by helicopter to another hospital, which they say is not a good sign.
Look, I always believe that if you live a life in that life you can get bit by a rattlesnake, you're doing things wrong.
That's not fair. No, you know
shouldn't
what?
be
You know
in
what,
places-
City Slicker? Listen here.
Where are you running into?
If you get hit by a fucking bus while you're waiting for some shithead on the side of the street because you're going to have a meeting to pitch a TV show.
Okay, first of all, you think I'm waiting for a bus?
No, you're waiting. You're on the sidewalk and
they're waiting for a
You can get hit by a bus while you're on your phone selfieing.
But when
Which is more
when
dangerous,
is a
the
rattlesnake
streets-
going to happen?
You can't. All right. What
Well,
about
you're
everybody
not in a giant city like this.
Does everybody in the city deserve to die?
Who's running into rattlesnakes?
Okay, for starters, many people listening to the show who don't live in Los Angeles, but there's a sign at my kid's Little League field that it's rattlesnake country.
Yeah.
You see
Yes.
you see them in Malibu all the time. dude.
Every stop on the side of the highway going down to San Diego, it's like, look out for rattlesnakes.
That having been said, I don't believe in God per se, but if I get attacked by a land animal when I'm at sea, maybe God is trying to tell me.
I agree with you 100%.
If you're swimming in an ocean and an eagle flies into the ocean and bites you,
And you're fucked. That's it. You're not supposed to be there.
you are not meant to be.
Yeah.
It's not sea. He's
getting attacked by a shark in your house.
He's in a fucking river where there's trees over it. Like,
Right.
You guys are making it out like there they were in the ocean, mind their own business, and a fucking rattlesnake attacked them. Like they were in the shrubbery or some shit.
If I'm hang gliding in a raccoon,
I'm sorry.
If a land animal attacks you in the sky,
Wow.
it is you're making bad life.
Right. If I'm deep sea diving and I get attacked by a lion, I'm definitely an unlucky guy.
Fell off a boat.
Holy fuck, it's a lion under the water.
A couple other stories. In Portland, Oregon, a teenager who pleaded guilty to starting the Eagle Creek fire last summer. Now comes the judgment. The teen is to pay $36 million in restitution.
We're not going to get that.
Oh, yeah, that's going to happen.
Can't we just set him on fire?
You're never going to get the
I want
$36 million,
payback.
but the rest of his life, he will have to pay a certain amount of money. His whole life.
It doesn't
kill
matter.
him.
Throw that kid in jail.
Fucking kill
How
him.
old is the kid?
I think he's like 16, 17, something.
that's too good for him.
Yeah. That was a very dangerous fire, too.
No, of course.
Yeah.
It burned for 48,000 acres.
Yeah, that fucking kid's an idiot.
Yeah,
he
kill
should
him.
he should be locked up in jail for that.
You should
kind of
have to
shit.
wear fire underpants every day.
Okay.
Oh,
let me-
15.
Let me just play devil's advocate. First of all, we all know that juveniles you can't hold them responsible in quite the same way. If a kid tries to set a fire or does something that could set a fire that is then easily contained, is that a lesser crime than the kid who does the exact same thing but the fire gets out of control?
Hey, look,
Yes.
Do we throw every kid who lights
No.
off a firecracker?
No, only if it's bad.
I had firework wars in the forest
Yes, but you didn't set fire to a
lots
jungle.
of times.
Yeah, but you're not responsible for fucking burning up acres of, like, I don't care. Fucking give him a cake.
Yeah.
But I say tell him,
Let him eat cake.
after he eats it, set him on fire.
Here's the problem. I think it is that if you cause a fire like that, how long did he wait from the time that he caused the fire to the time that he called?
No, that's
the fire
interesting.
department?
I don't know.
Because if he let it happen, if he let the fire happen and then just was like, fuck it, and walked away and didn't say anything to anybody and let it burn, I think he should have more responsibility for it. But I mean, how the fuck do you know something?
Well, you can even split that in half. Is it fuck it, let this whole town burn, fuck everybody? Or is it, no, it's not that bad, I can stop it, because those are two delays that have the exact same effect with two very different intentions,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's true. Too.
Nobody's going to want to have babies with him because, like, you're going to get married with it and he has, like, all this debt. So it's like you want to buy a house. He's like, well, I got to pay off this one thing at 39 million.
I got one bill I have to pay.
Yeah, like a college fund, but I got to just knock off this 36 point.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like everything he brings up, like, I'd love to pay the bill, but I got this 36 million.
You take him to dinner, and he's
Right.
like, oh, shit, man. You know?
Yeah, I would pick up the
thing
check.
is, I got this thing I owe the government for where I set like half of California on fire. But no, as a kid, didn't mean it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the good news is I have $36. The bad news is I also owe $37 million. So,
And finally, in the news, in Lakeworth, Florida, residents received alerts about a power outage and warned to look out for zombies. Lakeworth residents received the message during a power outage Sunday. So the power goes out, and you get this alert on your phone. This says power outage and zombie alert for residents of Lakeworth. There are now far less than 7,380 customers involved due to extreme zombie activity.
That's so great.
I'm pumped on that, man.
City spokesman Ben
You don't have to
Kerr
go to work anymore if there's zombies.
later posted a Facebook message saying officials were investigating the bogus alert and that he wanted to reiterate that Lakeworth does not have any zombie activity currently.
That's so great.
The kids got a hold of it or something.
Yeah, it's great. Just getting that text would be so awesome. The power goes out and then you get the zombie alert text. That's
I mean,
sweet.
there's enough TVs and movies out about it where you could potentially think that this is it.
You could maybe start believing it if you're the right person.
You know?
Yeah.
I just really like that sentence. There are now far less than 7,000 customers involved due to extreme zombie activity.
So
Extreme zombie activity.
I mean, extreme zombie, even if it's one zombie, isn't it extreme?
Yeah.
It's such a specific message, too.
Right.
It's great.
I mean, if it's just zombies everywhere, sure, but I mean, if it's just one zombie that can't be killed walking down the street, that's extreme zombie.
Yeah, that's
we need
extreme.
to freak out.
Right.
Did they say who's responsible for it? Or
No, they're investigating. They're trying to find out.
Oh, that's so great.
Wacky kids, you know, doing their wacky shit. We're going to give away tickets, right, Andrew?
We are to Stephen's show this Saturday night at the House.
So if you want to call in and you're in LA and you want to go see Stephen, you should call the show right now.
Yeah, come on out. We're doing a cast and crew reunion of Starship Troopers. Stage
Okay, so
that night.
who does that mean exactly?
That's Ed Neumeyer, who wrote Starship Troopers and RoboCop. He'll be on stage.
No way!
Casper Van Dien from Starship is going to be there.
You know, you're talking to like the Starship Troopers fanatic over here.
I did not know that.
I've exchanged tweets with Casper about Starship Troopers.
Oh, he'll be there. And then also either Jake Busey or Patrick Muldoon or both. So we'll at least have 3 or 4 or 5 somewhere in there.
I embarrassed myself
Depending on how exciting it gets.
at a Hollywood house party talking Jake Busey's ear off about Starship Troopers.
Really? Oh, that's so awesome.
Such a nerd.
They're great.
Oh, he deserves it.
Yeah, that'll be really fun. We're having them on stage as well as we got a couple of for some. I know some of your listeners are big Glee fans.
Yeah, no, huge.
But we're bringing a bunch of the cast from that show back on stage just because they've had quite a fucking weird couple of years.
Jesus,
with,
yes.
Two cast members dying. One from an overdose and one killed himself this past year. So
Really?
yeah.
Yeah. The guy that hung himself.
Having a bunch of them on stage to chat with them about like what that show was like, the pressures of working on a crazy show like that, and then Milana Vanyatrub, who is the AT&T girl. She's been in like a million things you'd recognize her face. People
she's cute.
Yeah, people are
Oh, yeah.
a little crazy about having her
Oh,
around.
she is.
Oh, yeah. That one picture's ringing a bell.
That AT&T,
Yep,
yeah.
that's the one.
Oh, my
Yep.
God, that's ringing a bell.
People really, really like her.
I don't know why.
I don't know why, but they really no.
God.
People
I only
are
have
big
2
fans.
ideas.
Dang.
Yeah, she's a very talented actress.
Ugh.
Very talented lady. So she'll be on the show and. Also, it's a big night. It's a live podcast, so we interview a bunch of celebrities on stage and then have fun, weird games and do shit with everybody. And
And you can go for free if you call the number right now, 855 Ellis 41.
Yes.
If anybody wants to go.
Absolutely.
We'll take a break and we'll be back.
God, she's just
right.
I looked her up after I saw the AT&T commercial or whatever it was. I was like, "Who is she?" And then her photograph was so much better than she looked on the commercial. I was like, "Wow, this."
I think I may have tweeted about her.
Yeah, she's gorgeous.
She is very hot.
Yeah.
She actually asked me. She goes, "When you post a picture, can you post one that's not too breasty?" I was like,
She said breasty?
And I go, "What are you talking about?" And then I looked her up on Google. I was like, "Oh, you mean all of your pictures?"
Yeah. Well, and also I think it becomes this. I remember I was at the X Games one time when we were interviewing female athletes.
Are you done? Or are you staying?
No, I'm staying.
Okay,
I'm
good.
staying till the end.
And every single time a female athlete would come, I would like just check their photo to make sure I knew the name. And if the girl had ever one time posed in anything someone were feeling, that is immediately the number one.
Oh, totally.
Like, it doesn't matter if she's 31 now. If she did a thing in FHM when she was 22, it will always be the number one result.
Completely. And my girlfriend was in Maxim, and still to this day, we have neighbors of my family.
JR, and then what's
neighbors
your last
will
name?
be like, "I looked up your son's girlfriend will be here."
Okay, cool. Oh, can you hold on for just a second? Thanks. Jason, I'll show you calling for tickets.
Jason, come back and talk to
Okay,
Ellismania.
yeah, sorry, we're doing
Yeah.
Okay, and what is your phone number? 405-922-159, and what is your email? That's JR Vigil 405-902-5159, jrvigil@outlook.com. Or JR dot. Yeah, Vigil. Gotcha. Okay, great. Thank you. We'll get your name on the list. Thanks. Bye. Hello. And your name, please? And what is your phone number? Okay. And what's your email, please? I'm sorry. Did you say DEZ? Wait, so GRGHRNN, and then what was it? D as in dog? Okay. At
I think so. I assume that's why they put that fence up.
Alright, thanks for calling. Bye.
How many bar people? Right there.
Hey. Thirsty? No problem.
Yes, for sure.
I'll get you on that. Okay, for sure. I'm just booking the date for it, but I'll give it to you. It's the Tuesday. It's a Tuesday show.
So is ours, but we don't do it every Tuesday, so it'll work out.
Thank you. How are you?
Good. Good to see you.
Anything else to drink?
There's a lot of people. Yeah, that works. Thanks.
Cold or room temp?
Cold would be great. Thank you. Well, we just interviewed this guy for our podcast. You would love Tyler Shields. He's the one. He's the guy who took the photo of Kathy Griffin with Donald Trump's head.
Oh shit!
We went to his house and interviewed him in his house, and it was fucking bizarre. Like just some of the shit that this guy went through, after that happened, like a Postmates guy poisoned him, like a Postmates guy. They sent him food. He opened the food up, and they had cut into the meat and put something into the meat, and the FBI had to fucking get involved. And they were like, the FBI was in his house for like 2 weeks straight, and then the Secret Service was in his house. Like it completely. His whole life has just it's so weird. He's He's had strange fucking.
Well, what do you expect? I mean, dude, like I do a Hillary one. I just know people from the way I look and using guns. I bump into people where I'm like, these are the last people on the face of the earth you want to fuck with. They got nothing better to do, man. Like I can, like you just said, Postmates. Like he doesn't know Trump. He doesn't know.
No.
He just saw that video, knows that guy, and is willing to poison. Because he's
a man
responsible
and
for
go to
making a
jail.
video of a rubber Trump head. Like,
Yeah.
it's not to be
100%.
fucked with those people.
Yeah. And he, like, I guess a couple of years ago, he did a photo
I
of.
heard she's got tons of gigs and she's scoring from it, though.
She's doing great now, but he told her not to apologize. He was like, "Don't fucking apologize for this shit." You know, because like she was getting so much heat. He was like, "Don't fall to it. Just hold strong because it'll work out if you do it."
And then she apologized twice.
And then she
right?
apologized, and then she apologized for apologizing.
Yeah.
There you go. That's right.
And you're like, it's hard. Having something like that happen though, like being international news, making shit like that, like that's like I've never experienced anything like that. I don't know what it's like.
Yeah, we can only hope.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Exactly. But yeah, pretty weird.
I mean, as long as somebody doesn't kill you for it.
Right. Yeah, that's the only danger, I guess.
Well, when was the last time that even when that happens, it's like it's almost hard to separate from just crazy people. Like even when crazy people do things that are like kind of sort of has a point, it's usually still a crazy.
They might just do it to anybody.
Well, like there's the famous one is the chick who was on that show. My Sister Sam it was like a sitcom and had a stalker, and he went to her house and he killed her in the early '80s.
Whoa,
that really happened. So like even if somebody like killed Kathy Griffin over that, I would be willing to bet it was like a crazy person who just did a thing that was a popular opinion among lots of people, but none of them were. You have to be actually crazy to really act on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
I don't think like John Wilkes Booth. I don't think was an insane person. I think he was just like, no, I strongly believe in the Confederacy, and I'm going to kill the president. I don't think he was unbalanced.
Right. Well, it's interesting. Like with your show that you guys do, like there's no editing, right? Like if somebody comes on, and they say something fucked up, like it just airs, and there's no.
We replay it endlessly. There's a guy who came on years ago who said, "I'm not a racist, but I am a separatist." And the button lives on.
Really?
Yeah, you want to hear it? I'll play it on the internet.
Please. Yeah, because we've had some real arguments on our show about do you cut stuff or do you leave it in? And we've left in 99% of everything. One guy came on the show and insulted his father on the show, and then asked us to remove it, so we took it off as to,
that's
be nice.
That's different stuff.
But like. We've had people ask us to take stuff off, and then we go.
This is live. You can't ask us.
No, yeah,
that's
you
the
really
difference.
can't. Oh, that's so.
I can't help you.
The Jason Ellis Show. Fuck yeah, you ugly motherfucker. This is the Jason Ellis Show. On Faction Talk.
Funny man Stephen Glickman still in studio with us this Saturday. He has his nighttime show at the Hollywood Improv at 10:30. If you would like to attend, give us a call right now, 855-ELLIS41. Of course, we can make it to a show in Hollywood.
Turns up.
A set of parents.
It's going to be happening, people.
I love it.
A set of parents in upstate New York are trying to evict a tenant from their home. It is their 30-year-old son.
Yeah, I remember my father calling me when I was. I think I was a pro skateboarder. Pretty sure I was a pro skateboarder, and every now and then when I came back to Australia, because I hadn't officially moved to America, I still had a room at my parents' house, and I had a one single bed there, and had like a little poster, some skateboard poster I put on the wall, and I was like, I don't care. This is not really this, but I'm here. My brothers are here. This is my home still.
Yeah.
And oh no, I wasn't pro. That's a lie, because I was working. That's right. And I got he called me to tell me that you have to get out of the house because Mom wants you to leave, and that was my stepmom. And I remember going to work and thinking about it and thinking, like, fuck, I can't believe this has happened.
Shit.
And then I thought, and then I came to the conclusion. Wait a minute. I remember going, wait a minute. I've known him longer than she's known him. I might have actually been off because I think they were. I mean, she was my mum's best friend before. So my dad left my mum after I was already pregnant. Sorry, she was pregnant.
Right.
Had me, and then when I was 2 or 3, then he left her for Man. And Man is the stepmom who had 2 kids after that, and then kind of aced me out of there. But I was a bad kid. Like, I was a messed up kid, and she probably didn't want me to rub off. So I did that. I called him, and I didn't say bros. I wasn't aware of that rhyme yet. Fuck, it would have worked, because he was the kind of guy that would have went, oh, fuck, good point. Definitely wrote bros
so funny.
Yeah, but I explained to him that I knew him longer than her, and that was unacceptable. And he was such a fucking idiot. He was just like, yeah, good point. And then told her that he's going to stay. You know what I mean? It was just like this awkward
So was this lady around for your whole life?
Yeah, she's still around. There was another falling out when I had the book and I talked about my childhood, and then another falling out when I went to rehab and kind of realized that the person who molested me when I was real little was my dad. And they were just like, that's not possible. And I was like, there's a lot of shit about Dad you don't know. And we had a bit of a discussion about how he used to be a gigolo before he died. Because he cheated on my stepmom a lot. And then in the end, he figured it all out and was like, I'm faithful now. And turns out, in the last couple of years of his life, he got paid to come around people's houses and fuck people's wives while their husbands watched or something. And then he did live sex shows at some sex club or something like that. And he was 53 when that happened, and she didn't know anything about that. I found out after he died, and she was like, you can't say stuff about Dad like that. And I was like, do you know that he did this other stuff? And she just called me a flat out liar. And my brother did too. And then, in the end, the guy that was business partners with my dad, who told me this story, he told her recently.
Wow.
And she hit me up saying that it's probably more likely than not that he did do what you did, considering. When he was 53, he was living this other life that I had no idea about. So she's super apologetic and wants to hang out with my kids all the time. I talk to her, but there's that thing, especially now when I have a wife. She's a stepmom, so
yeah.
I can see little me when I watch Tiger and how they interact, and if Katie, I don't know. It's funny because Tully's bringing up that he's 30. I would like to think that if Tiger wanted to live with me when he was 30, I'd still want him. It'd be hard for me to fucking make him.
Yeah, you'd be happy.
I love him, man. He's cool, and unless he's like a full dick loser when he's 30, like Dad, but I'd be like, all right, no. But if he was still him, I'd be like, yeah, man, you can stay with me. It's cool.
My dad pulled this move. I haven't spoken to my dad in 5 years, something like this, 4 or 5
Why
years
not?
now. Because my mom raised me. They got divorced when I was like a teenager.
Yeah.
And then after they got divorced, my mom is like the fucking greatest lady. She's super funny, dirty, is like the first one to make a dirty joke. Like she's the one who would sneak me into stand-up comedy clubs when I was 13, 14 years old in the back and pay off the door guy to let me sit in the back of Caroline's
So she really helped you.
Comedy club. Yeah.
He did not, I'm sensing.
No, he was gone. He was gone most of my
Completely.
childhood. Completely. Always on the road. He was a businessman.
Okay.
He was in the Scorpions.
He was in the Scorpions. That would be the best. Oh, that's the best callback.
Did you analyze the guitarist's face really hard?
Oh, I was like, that's gotta be him.
Oh my god.
Same tan.
So
they have
that's
the
what
same
Rocky
tan.
Like a Hurricane's about.
Yeah.
So fucked up. I
is
love
really-
that.
that is really
That's
harsh.
amazing. But when after he left, he moved right away. He moved down the street from us,
Okay.
and then he was just like, "Nyeh," and then moved to New York City. And so we were in San Diego, and so we had no way of seeing him, or he wouldn't come out and come visit or whatever. And then after about a year of living there, he reached out to my mom and was like, I can't pay alimony anymore, I'm broke, I'm not making any money out here, New York's so expensive, and I live in this little apartment and I just can't do it. And so my mom took me and my little sister on a quote-unquote vacation to New York City to go and find his address and let him know hey, this legally you need to take care of your kids, you got to pay for stuff. And she was trying to find work and and struggling, and we got to New York and we were walking around and she had the address, and this is back when you had maps, and so we find the address, we get to the front door, and it's the Trump Tower in Columbus Circle. Yeah. The gold Trump Tower.
Wait, and he really lived there?
And she was like, this is impossible. This isn't where he lives. And so she goes up and talks to the doorman and is like, we're looking for this guy. And he was like, oh yeah, he has the 17th floor.
What?
And he had the entire floor.
Wait, so he's a billion?
He was a multi-millionaire, and he had been pretending like he was broke so that he could live he had the floor below Steven Spielberg. He had this enormous place, and so then she had to sue him and bring in a lawyer and do the whole thing
and get a lot of money
and get the money, and then he had to start paying again. So then he paid for many years, and then when I was
he poor when he was with your mom?
No, he had lots of money. He had a big company. He ran
from the start.
Entire company. Yeah, with 400 or 500 employees.
Oh, okay. So when he did the I'm broke thing, was just
it was it didn't make a lot of sense, and she didn't buy it. But there was no way of that. I mean, there was how are you supposed to find stuff like that? There's no Googling then. So long story short. He pulled this again later in life where he was like, I'm broke, I don't have any money. And then she found out that he had a giant massive house that he was living in Texas that was like a 25 bedroom house, some massive complex. And then had to get a lawyer again and do the whole thing again, and it really fucked with my mom's self-confidence too, because what
about your self-confidence?
And me too, because I try to have a relationship with him in some way,
take care of you,
but he just kept fucking it up and fucking it up. And then here's the capper of it, and I've never talked about this before. During Big Time Rush, during the Nickelodeon show that I was doing, about 4 seasons in, he had a stroke, and he was living in Los Angeles. He had an apartment in Los Angeles, and so, but he was paying stuff to my mom. Okay. And he had a stroke, and so I went to go see him in the hospital, and I was like, oh my god, this is he could die. I should really try to make an effort to try to be around him more. So I started spending lots of time with him. And he's like, I can't afford to pay your mom the money because I had a stroke. I'm in all this trouble. So I was like, okay, well, while you're recovering, I'll pay her alimony. So then I started paying it, and I paid it for
how old were you? What's alimony?
At this point, well, not what's it called?
Spousal support.
Spousal support, because there's both, right? You have to pay alimony, and then just child support.
Alimony.
Right.
Is it forever?
It's till until she's 65, I think.
Oh,
this.
Okay.
There's some sort of California rule or some sort of rule they made in their divorce. So, anyways, long story short, I took over and did the payments for a little while, and then
he agreed to that.
He agreed to it, right? Of course. And then he starts recovering, and so then he's like, I can take care of things again. And then after a few months, he has to cut it in half. He can't pay as much, and then before you know it, it's a third of what he was paying. And then he it just stopped paying, and was like, yeah, I don't have any money. I'm really having a hard time. And we'd go out. Him and me would go out for dinner, and he would be like, can you pay for dinner tonight? Because
Dude.
I'm really having a hard time. And I was like, I fucking know this dude has money, but I can't prove it, and I can't do anything.
Well,
like,
did he drive
and
there?
I knew that he was. He didn't have a giant, massive company anymore, but he was still flying all over the world and getting
planes.
paid. And in planes, yeah, and with superpowers.
Got the check if you're in a plane.
No, he's making like, I know that he's making a lot of money flying around the world as like a consultant for all these companies, but he's not able to pay. He doesn't have any money. He keeps saying he doesn't have money. So we'd go to like the movie theater and he'd get like upset that like I paid for the tickets because he wanted me to pay for the popcorn. Like
Oh my
shit like this. Like
God.
it got real bad. And then at one point we're walking out and he's walking me to my car and I go, you know what, I'll walk you to your car. And he goes, no, it's okay. And I walk him to his car and he has a brand new Fiat. Right, and it was like
wait a minute,
it was
a
like
Fiat?
a Fiat, but it was like
Not
it
the
was
little
like-
egg thing.
Yes, like the egg thing, but it was like
Okay, he broke his shit.
Oh yeah, like all. It had rims on it, you know, the whole bit. And I was like, what the fuck kind of car is this? Like, who drives a Fiat? And he goes, it's brand new. I just got it. He's like, and I was like, I thought you were broke. I thought you couldn't afford anything. And he was like, well, you know, it's a lease, and I'm borrowing it. And I was like, you just said you bought this, and like. At the same time as this was happening, my mom was filing for Social Security, for early Social Security, because she couldn't make enough money from him, and
Wait, how do all you guys? He was living in the Trump Tower,
right?
How are all of you broke?
Well, we're not. I mean, we're not.
Like, how do you get half of a guy's check from Trump Tower and end up on Social Security?
Well, because
and how did he live in the Trump Tower and end up with a Fiat?
Trump Tower is. In 1991, this is in 2000, 2014, 15? Like, this is, 20 years later. And it's a different, it's like he'd already gone through all that time.
Was he bad with money? Obviously, right?
Yeah. And my mom was, like, very good with it. My mom is the one who's, like, educated with, has, like, degrees and shit. But, like, he's very, like,
he's a hustler.
He's a hustler, yeah. So, long story short.
Stop saying that because it's a very long story.
God damn it. I really.
Anyway, it's a great story. No, it's not. It's a great story.
All right. So, what happened is my mom goes in to, like, file for Social Security, like, a year early, which is, then you take less money when you do something.
Oh, okay.
And she goes in to do this, and they're like, why isn't your husband still paying his alimony? Like, he owes you money. And she was like, oh no, he's broke and this and that. And they were like, no, he's not. And they turned the screen around to show her.
Wow.
And he had made that year, he'd made like $900,000, and it'd been it was only like March in the year, like he'd made so much fucking money. So she had to get a lawyer for a third time in life and sue him and get the money. But this time we made a deal that she wouldn't have to ever talk to him again. That all the finances would come from him, and they would go straight to an attorney. And then the attorney would cut a check, and that if he didn't do this, it would he'd be fucked.
And you are not friends with him anymore.
No.
After that.
But we needed to serve. Else? We needed to serve him the paper.
So you did.
I volunteered to
kick his Fiat?
To like tell him to meet me at a restaurant.
Ooh.
And then he met at the restaurant and I didn't go, and then someone showed up and served him papers.
Oh wow, wow.
Yeah, so I did him dirty.
You got it.
Because fuck him. He's a piece of shit.
There you go. There you go. Just because he made you doesn't mean you have to respect him.
No, he's a shitty person. Yeah. And what's great is,
I mean, he didn't make you. He made like the fetus, but he didn't make you.
No, dude. My mom made me, and what's great
she didn't make you either. I mean, she's great, but
yeah.
I'm not trying to shit on her. You made you, bro.
Well, thank you. But she raised me.
Actually, she did do a lot. Cause it sounds like
she raised me my whole life.
She put you in a comedy store before you were. That's
before
Cinderella's story. She knew you were going to be this guy.
And what's great is, this is the best part, is that she always wanted, like, one of her like dreams in life was to run a petting zoo in like her little home, her little town that she lives in. And so now, like, that's all she does. She has like 15 fucking animals. She has pigs and chickens and goats and shit.
Yeah.
And like she goes around to people's homes and parties and like big banquets and shit and brings like
I had a
farm
petting zoo at my
animals.
wedding. I love that shit.
It's the fucking greatest. And so like even though like financially it's like a little hard on her sometimes, like she's very strong. She's very happy and she's doing something that she loves to do. So
Your dad's alive still.
he's alive. I don't know where he is now.
What do you think, to the extent that any of us can understand anybody else, what do you think his motivation is for this? Does he just have animosity towards your mom?
I think like he grew up so poor, like he was so poor as a kid that I think this is like he just like hung on to like everything, anything that he could make. Like
He didn't hang on to his kids.
no, he didn't care about
Money's more
family
important
stuff.
than kids.
Money was very, very important. Like I remember him like as like a 10, 11-year-old kid, like every single piece of technology that came out, he'd buy 2 of them. Like he'd have a laser disc player. You know what I mean? Like he was like,
I remember that, Dad.
yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
The guy who buys like every single type of Shasta Cola that comes out at Price Club and then stocks the garage so he can like show off to like everyone of all the like new shit that he
Little
wants.
wow.
Scrooge McDucky.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. Yeah. So
Well, look at us now.
I
You
know, right? Come on.
Shit dads, and we rise to the top.
Except for these parents who are evicting their 30-year-old son.
Right. That kid's a loser.
Yeah.
And you know when it gets to when your parents want you evicted, I don't need to be evicted.
Yeah,
If everybody, like I had the discussion with my father. It was like, look, here's my pitch as to why I should stay. He could have said, nah, she'll kick me out. You gotta go. And I would have gone, okay, fuck you, but I'm leaving. I wouldn't say, nope, call the police. I'm not leaving. Like,
No,
what
like
kind of
if
a
it's
douche
in the
does that?
news, if it's in the
Yeah,
news,
he's staying in there. And he's got a padlock on his room, and he
get the
walks
fuck out of here.
I mean, you got to assume that, right?
Okay, so
if you have to get evicted.
Dude.
I have incomplete information, but the pieces are very telling and provocative. So the only reason why we know about this is because this is filed in court. The parents
Yeah.
are trying to legally evict their tenant, their 30-year-old son. So I don't even know what their name is. All I know is they provided pieces of evidence, which are letters saying, we hereby evict you. Well, there's one where they're like, we're giving you $1,100. That's enough for you to get some other
Got
place.
served by your parents, and you said no.
Oh,
What?
no.
You know what? You know who you have to blame for this?
Yeah.
The parents.
And-
You raised a turd.
Yeah. No.
And the only other piece of information that I'm aware of that I think is everything you need to know, a court filing shows that the 30-year-old, his name is Michael, wants a judge to dismiss his parents' request.
They blew it. They shouldn't have said anybody. They shouldn't have told anybody. They should have just killed him and buried him in the backyard.
He is fighting a legal eviction.
I brought you in. I'm taking you out. You fucking prick.
Wow. Yeah, that got out of hand.
Yeah, they used to let Romans were allowed to kill their babies.
Yeah, that
Thank you,
seems like a conversation that like
Thank you for having my
this is
back
gonna
on that.
ruin Thanksgiving. You know, like this is gonna really make Thanksgiving.
Yeah, no one's coming over to that house for Christmas.
Oh my God.
You got Toadstool in the back that's like, man, I'm
Even when he
living here.
leaves- Even when he leaves, you'll be eating and he'll just be like looking in the window like the Three Men and Baby Boy.
He'll stay out in front in a tent or something. He'll like protest in a tent for the rest of his days.
Oh dear God.
Let me in, mommy.
Well, I got something I have to talk to you guys about. That
Quickly.
it's important. Do we have time? How much time?
I'm
we
just
got?
fucking with you.
Okay, good. This is something I have also not really talked about, but I really think it's important to get out there.
You're gay.
Close.
Damn
My girlfriend goes out of town. This is not a joke. This is just a real thing. My girlfriend went out of town. She was going to be out of town for a little while. I knew she was going to be out of town for 3 weeks. So, knowing that she's going to be gone, I decided to invest in a flashlight for myself.
Yeah,
You
okay.
familiar with these?
Yeah. We've had him on the show.
Intimately.
Right. So I look up online to see, how much it costs to have one of these sent out so that I can have it while she is gone. And it turns out that for only $35 more, I can get the Auto Blow 2.
Yeah, I would get that if I was doing it. Yeah.
Familiar with the Auto Blow 2?
No, I'm not.
Yeah, we road tested them here and there.
Oh, you did?
I mean, totally. Love them. Use them all the time.
Really?
No, I have brain damage. I don't remember anything.
Well, so I got one
Yeah.
of the Auto Blow 2. read the instructions.
Why would you? Just stick it in the hole, right?
Yeah, you just stick it in there.
It comes naturally.
Turn it on.
There it is. That's it. What it is? It's a robotic device that simulates.
Oh, now I remember it. Yeah,
giving
you
a
fuck it
blowjob.
and it like vibrates in there and stuff. And sucks. Kinda.
Well, it goes up and down. There's coils. There's metal coils.
Yeah.
That go up and down. So here's the thing about the Auto Blow 2. If you put too much, I put too much lube into it, not knowing how much you're supposed to put in, and then I turned it all the way up.
Yeah,
and
shut it all out.
Kind of. It shot the lube into my dick.
What?
It
in your meatus?
It got inside my urethra.
Yeah.
And the pulling mechanism kind of overheated and not to a dangerous place, but dangerous enough that it felt like it was ripping my dick off my body.
What?
Here's what ended up happening. I had to go to a doctor because my dick hurt a lot after using it.
Oh, you got it out though, right?
Mm-hmm. I wasn't.
You injured your penis.
I injured my penis.
Lube shot up your meatus.
That's the whole. That is literally what happened. I went into a doctor's office and I had to explain to him that I had been fucking this robot, and I was in a lot of pain from it.
Yeah.
And so then the doctor prescribed me antibiotics and steroids to take the swelling down and get my penis back to regular.
They have to make your dick even stronger for the next time you try this whole
right, exacckly.
Nobody gets that hurt.
Here's
fucking...
it fucked.
You went on antibiotics and steroids.
It fucked me up. Now maybe I was not using it correctly because I did not follow the instructions, but it did fuck me up. And here's the best part is because I was on steroids, my whole body was more susceptible to like other types of things. Yeah. So I caught strep throat while I was on the steroids. So my girlfriend comes home from the trip and she's like, "You have strep throat and your dick is like in enormous amounts of pain. Like, what the fuck were you doing?"
Wait, how long was your dick in pain for?
Like a good week and a half.
Oh my God!
Well, like it hurt to pee. Like I went and got tested.
Oh my God!
I had to get tested to make sure that it wasn't like
I have never
something else.
Ever heard of that?
Oh yeah, no, I had damaged my urethra.
What kind of
and
what kind of sock fucker are you? Like, what'd you do? How much did you put in?
It's got a lot of horsepower.
How hard did you go into it?
It's got, and also my
I can't even look at you the same way anymore.
It's not good.
He breaks.
It was my apartment doesn't have the electrical stability to plug things in. It shorts out. Things short out a lot there. I lose light bulbs.
You think you gave it overdrive or something?
I think I put it in overdrive. I may have. Yeah, it was bad. It was real bad.
Your dick didn't catch on fire or anything.
No, but it could have. And then I went to. This is a real thing that happened. I went to the hospital, and this doctor in a hospital, a real doctor in a real hospital, said to me, "Maybe in the future you only fuck things that are alive."
Oh, what a prick! It's easy for him to say. He's a doctor. Everybody wants to fuck him.
Right.
What about all those people out there that can't get laid?
He's racist against robots.
Right.
Yeah.
She knows you're faithful.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
I had to tell her what happened. Like I tried not to. I tried to like go around it a little bit and kind of ease around it, but then finally I told her, and she was like, "What the fuck is the matter with you?"
I don't think there's any. I mean, man,
she's that girlfriend that people then
you should be allowed to fuck that thing.
You should.
Correct. You should just know how to fuck it correctly.
You should know how to fuck it correctly.
Anything I'd be worried about.
Yeah.
Like, how do you do that? That's pretty hard to hurt yourself. But...
I don't know. There's metal coils involved.
Speaking of hurting yourself, real quick, I have to bring up Ellismania 15. I watched videos last night of people that are trying out for Ellismania 15, and a couple of things I need to bring up. One, if you've been in Ellismania before, that doesn't mean that I know you like you're a UFC guy. I don't know your stats, so I need video of you still, and I need how much you weigh and how tall you are and how old you are. I need all that in a video. It's a video. You need a video, and I need girl fights for the musical chair fight. All women should sign up because the winner this year of the female musical chair fight gets $1,000.
Wow.
So from now on, for Ellismania 15, there is cash prizes for winners of these fights. So there is not one girl yet. I know tickets aren't on sale yet, so nobody's rushing, but I just feel like as a guy that is watching all the fights, I'd prefer that you guys send them all in now, so I had it all locked down. And the other thing is musical chair fighters that are the lightweight guys, I'm not seeing any of you. So there might be just one weight class for musical chair fights if there isn't, 8 guys that are under 170 pounds. So it looks like Brock Lobster might be fighting some 200-pounders, and that's just the way it's going to be. What else was I supposed to say? I think that's it. I think I covered it. Right? Did I say everything else? What else was I supposed to bring up on that one?
Biggest winner?
Oh yeah, the biggest winner fight is there is a guy that did send his video in, and he's 139 pounds. So if anybody's 130 pounds, 140 pounds, 150 pounds, and wants to try and put on weight in the next 3 months, then you can come to Ellismania at the Hard Rock, stand on the scale. The 2 guys that put on the most weight from now till August 25th, which is Saturday night, fight night, will fight in the first ever biggest winner fight.
Wow.
Yeah, so instead of helping people lose weight, we're helping young skinny folk pack on a couple of pounds.
Who's going to be the guy on the guy on the stage, the guy in the ring who goes, "Hey, stop fighting"? Who's that guy?
Referee.
Oh, yeah, who's the referee?
Wow. Always watching mixed martial arts, Stephen Glickman.
Yeah.
And the Joe Rogan of the Jason Ellis show. Really.
Did I ever tell you my Rogan story, what I said to him? When he asked me
you
if
say something stupid like that?
Yes. he asked me if I would do the Joe Rogan podcast.
Yeah.
And I was so excited. I was like, yeah, that'd be great. I'm like, so exciting. And then we go and we're hanging out, just the 2 of us, with like a couple other people, and he's talking, and he starts talking about the fighter, the lady, the female fighter.
Ronda Rousey?
Ronda Rousey, right. So he starts talking about Ronda Rousey. I go, oh, Ronda Rousey, blah, blah, blah. Oh, she's so great. She's going to kick ass or whatever. And I go, oh, you know Ronda Rousey? And he goes, yeah, of course I do.
Yeah.
And I go, oh, no, I know, of course. And he goes, yeah, I'm the announcer for UFC, man. And I go, no, I know. I just figured that maybe they'd have like a female announcer for the ladies.
Oh my god!
And he goes,
did he start laughing or did he? Think
he goes, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
And I go, I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't know anything when it comes to that. When it comes to like fighting and things, like I'll go and watch if someone's having it at their house. I'll go watch on the TV and stuff, but I don't know a lot of stuff. I'm a very nervous Jewish Canadian. Like I don't know a lot of shit.
What did he say then?
And he was like, how the fuck do you not know that?
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know. And then I wrote him like 2 days later, and I was like, hey man, so when am I gonna come do the show? No response. Completely just was like, nope, done. Yeah.
You and me both.
I love him. He's a great guy. It's just I'm an idiot.
It happens.
Well, given your passion for female athletics, I'm sure you can identify the woman I'm bringing up on the screen right now.
Hey, that is Brandy Chastain. Of course.
Well done. Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
That is one of the great names in women's U.S. soccer. Famously, people know her. She was the person who scored the goal in the Olympics.
Pulled the
top off, right?
It's the only soccer player I've heard of.
Exactly, and for that, and I'm sure she did other things as well. She has been inducted into some sort of soccer Hall of Fame.
Cool.
And her,
I love the Soccer Hall of Fame. It's right next to.
I want to get in it.
Yeah,
it's right next to the Pay Less, Shoes for Less.
I'm looking to bring my son there. It's sort of the pilgrimage every father takes.
It's a great place. El Segundo.
And her plaque was unveiled today, and people have taken some issues.
What? No, it's not.
Yeah, that's insane.
Is that real?
I mean, you got to redo that, right?
There's no plan to redo that.
What do you mean? How can you not redo
melted?
that?
What happened?
Isn't that like a president or something?
Some people have compared the picture to Jimmy Carter.
Yeah, it looks like Jimmy Carter.
I see Mike Francesa.
It looks like Fat Bastard from Austin Powers.
Oh man, I mean, yeah, they can't. Why would you want to be honored that way?
They said they don't always try to make them perfectly accurate.
Mickey Rooney.
It does look like
they
Mickey
try
Rooney.
more to
Oh,
capture the person's
no.
essence, maybe exactly.
Wait,
what they
the
look
essence of
like.
her as an old man? Man, come on, man. You're already in a sport nobody really cares about. Like, give her a break.
She diplomatically said it's not the most flattering thing
Not the most
she's ever
flattering.
seen, but she's honored by the accolade nonetheless.
God, can they
What
take a-
did she do to this guy who made this plaque? Like,
You know,
this guy...
Hey, do you ever work
He
in
must
bronze?
hate... Oh, yeah. Did I ever work in... Every other Thursday. Oh, my God.
Now, who made that? Fire them immediately. I didn't reel off the email. Ellismania15@gmail.com. If everybody, send your videos in now. Because the other thing is once everyone sends these videos in, I can tell I'm putting people in slots. So if the later you are, the shittier your slot is. Go ahead, Michael.
And I don't know if we've given away all the tickets that we have. Wow, this is not the only person who pretty.
What is the matter with these?
Wait, I thought that was a joke when I saw that on Instagram. Is that real? That's not real. He's not a gorgeous man. Why do you say that?
Why would they do something like that?
I don't know. He looks like my kid's watching the old animated series, the after school animated series, The Real Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
He looks like one of the poltergeists that.
Yeah. It's
I
just
mean,
one of his eyes is just floating
Dude,
away.
there's so much money in that dude's career, and I mean, I know it looks like it's made of some expensive metal, but you've got to redo it. You can't let that come out to everybody. Like anybody that looks at that goes, "Fuck, man, that didn't turn out right."
No, that's
right?
real bad.
It didn't turn out right.
He looks simple.
I mean,
He looks simple is a nice way of putting it. Really sweet.
I mean, it's so
Oh, Jesus.
brutal.
Brutal.
He looks happy.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
This ignorance is bliss, but he looks way past ignorant.
Oh, no.
Looks like a guy who's so dumb he like sleeps soundly. You know,
He
he's
looks
completely untroubled.
He looks like his head's
Yeah.
He looks like his head's been cut off, and that's the face you have when right after your head's been severed. Because it doesn't make any sense, and he was.
God.
It's like a size 7 face on a size 10 head.
It's crazy that they got his hair cut right, but they just deformed his fucking head. Like, why? I mean, haircuts come and go, but faces stay, man. Why would you do that?
Oh, it's just so wrong.
Oh, that's great.
Hey, were you guys? I think since the last time I was here, did I tell you guys about what happened to me in Reno, Nevada? Did you guys hear the story?
No.
I went to Reno, Nevada to go watch Ben Harper. Do you know Ben Harper, the singer? So my sister's band, Hey King, was the opening act for Ben Harper on the road, like all over the country. So I flew up to Reno, Nevada to go like watch the show at this big casino, right? And when I was there, I was like, I'm gonna rent a car, and I went to Hertz Rent a Car.
Yeah.
And I rented a car. And
Boy, are they great.
Oh, so great, right? So great.
Mm-hmm.
I got to rent a car for a total of 15 minutes. Because the car was stolen 15 minutes after I rented it. This is 100% true. I rent this car. I drive it from the airport, which is very close to the hotel. I don't even know what kind of car it is. That's how small amount of time I spent in this car.
Yeah.
I get in the car, I drive to the front of the hotel, I say to the valet guy, I go, "Where do you want the keys?" And he goes, "Just put them on the seat." And I go, "Thanks." Put them on the seat, get out of the car, walk in. As I walk in, a guy gets into the car and drives it away forever.
Just stuff in it?
No.
Oh, cool.
And then the cops show up to be like, "Oh, the car got stolen." And then they were like, "What kind of car was it?" I was like, "I have no idea. White, silver, something."
Wait, you knew? Okay.
I didn't know.
You didn't even know the color?
I didn't have the paper. You know the paper they give you that has all the information? I had left it in the car.
Still on the passenger seat.
So
right?
I don't have I can't
You didn't
tell
know what
them
color it was?
It was either white or silver, but I couldn't
wrong
remember
with you?
because it was in a parking lot.
No,
So it was dark.
I lost a car at the Grove the first day that I moved to LA because I was so unused to parking structures that I had a date the night that I was here, and she goes, "What floor did you park on at the Grove?" And I go, "I have absolutely no idea." And she goes, "Well, what kind of car do you drive?" I said, "I have absolutely no idea."
What?
It's so hot. I'm definitely going. As soon as you find your car, I'm definitely going home with you.
Oh yeah, you're getting laid.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
getting laid 100%.
I think I did.
No, it's ridiculous. Yeah, but that's what happened. And I didn't. They ended up. The car ended up getting returned. Someone found the car and returned it to them, and it ended up getting worked out.
Hey, speaking of which,
but yeah, so nerve wracking.
yesterday we devoted a lot of time to following a wild car chase that involved a stolen car, and a couple little tidbits on that came out after everybody was caught. The guy who was driving the allegedly stolen car was allegedly also on some pretty heavy drugs, was hospitalized for evaluation.
Because he was probably doing them while he was driving, right?
You would think he was just
He
trying
looked
to
like he
finish
was.
everything off.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I still, can somebody explain to me, I know the facts of what happened with the chick because it was a girl in the passenger seat, and it just doesn't make sense to me. As far as I can tell, what happened is at a certain point, the girl got out of the passenger seat and just went over to some strangers who may or may not have just been like onlooking, like may have been rubbernecking at the spectacle of this, and she just said, "I need a ride." And these people allegedly said, "Sure, hop in." And as we later found out, these people who were not prior friends was a couple who had a fucking baby in the car.
In the back. And they put the girl in the back next to the baby that they didn't know.
And then they drove away, and then some video guy just yelled at them. We saw this going, "You need to stop, give it up. This is ridiculous what you're doing to yourself." So the woman who had been the passenger in drug-stolen car guy's car gets out and gives herself up. And then the couple with the baby, who were never involved with this to begin with, they then took off and evaded the cops for like 20 minutes themselves.
What?
But did they know they were evading them?
How do you not? I mean, there had to be a cop car behind them with lights on, right?
Was there?
Well, eventually when they pulled them over, they did cuff them. Remember?
Well, we saw that, but
Yeah.
I mean, they pulled over. Well, anyway, so that
Oh
turns
my
out,
God.
did they just said why they evaded them just for the fuck of it?
Or maybe they said, "Oh shit, we
With
should."
the kid in the car?
Oh shit, we shouldn't have taken that lady. She was a fugitive. Now we're in trouble. We should run away. Like I've read the story like 3 times. Maybe I'm just an idiot. That's what I think happened.
No, they're idiots. People are stupid.
Yeah.
People are so stupid.
know that the girl been involved in a police chase. This girl's like, oh, I don't know what she said to him. I like my keys in the car. Can you give me a ride to steps? Whatever she said.
Okay.
Then the
Have you ever picked up like?
next door shines the camera on and is like, "I've got you on videotape. You were part of that car chase," and then they take off.
No. So then they say, get the fuck out of my car.
Yeah.
The chick gets out of the car. They leave. Because the police aren't anywhere around.
But he also multiple
I think they
times
were,
looked
though.
at the helicopter as it was
Oh,
following
well,
him.
he should have pulled over and let the helicopter get him. No, he didn't. He thought, oh, shit, I don't want to be involved with this. They got out of the car, so they were like, okay, let's go.
Man, I feel like Will
She's like-
talking to his ex-wife.
She's like, "Thanks for dropping me off, guys."
I'm assuming it was a female. Talks to him like, because girls always have an argument. They'll always have, well, what about this angle? What about that angle? You can't. I don't know who you're defending right now, Will, but I think you're against the police right now. I'm pretty sure what you're doing is defending the criminal now.
They weren't criminals. The people that picked up the girl were not criminals, and that's why the police, when they confirmed that these people weren't criminals, let them go.
Oh, sorry, Will.
I'm just saying, I thought that I recalled that after the camera guy talked to them and she got out of the car and laid down in the street and put her hands behind her head, that very shortly, immediately thereafter, cops pulled up on her. So it would be a little far-fetched for me to think that this couple, who were panicking in a bizarre, unfortunate situation, were completely unaware that the police were chasing the woman who had just been in their car. Because I thought the cops showed up immediately.
Chasing the woman, not chasing them. She got in their car for a minute.
Okay.
Wow.
And by the way, we can confirm our earlier reporting. The passenger chick was pretty cute.
Oh yeah, there's a photo of her.
We just saw a video of her.
Yeah,
Close
she's
second.
she's a hot girl.
She's cute. She's
Yeah,
cute.
I'd give her a ride too.
Mixed up with the wrong people, man.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say, Stephen?
Well, look, if you're in Los Angeles, California, and you want to come on out to the nighttime show this Saturday, come on out. It is we're going to do a reunion on stage of the movie Starship Troopers, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Casper Van Dien's going to be there, and Ed Newmeyer, who wrote RoboCop. And
I think Tully's going to be there.
Lots of stuff. I hope Tully's there.
Possible.
It's going to be a big night, lots of big people, and we always do weird shit. Last month on the show, we had Lisa Loeb, the singer, on the show, and she sang Stay, which was super exciting to our audience. And then we did a reunion of the show The Office, like a little mini reunion with
that sounds
Oscar Nunez and Kate Flannery.
Very entertaining. If you don't want to
it's very fun.
Really lackluster, I'm at the Don Bar tonight.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, pretending to be a comedian.
We have to do. Have you on the show.
Oh, wait. Just like, do I sit there and talk to you?
Yeah, you'll come on and
Okay,
we'll
cool.
chat.
Enjoy the rest of your day, everybody. Thanks, Stephen.
Hey, thanks for having me again, guys.
Don't die.
Thanks, man. That was
Anytime, dude. You know that.
Did you valet